Chapter 1085. 9 Deadly Steps. Qin Yun's perception of martial arts was extremely high to begin with. Therefore, he felt that it would be difficult to master martial arts in a short period of time, even if he was next to the sacred lake. But now, when he practiced the 4th step of the 9 extinction steps, he actually made a lot of progress. It was much smoother and easier than before. Now, he was only unable to use his strongest power to execute the 4th step. The 9 extinction steps had 9 types of footwork. The flowing light extinction shadow was the fastest footwork. The 2nd step was passing shadow extinction breath. Although it wasn't as fast as flowing light extinction shadow step, it could conceal one's aura while moving. The 3rd step was the 1,000 illusion myriad transformation steps. It allowed him to release many illusions to confuse his opponent. As for the 4th step, it didn't focus on speed but on power. It was called the 9 deadly steps. With every step he took, the power in his body would become stronger. This was the 9 extinction steps. By condensing the power of the 9 extinction steps, he could fuse all kinds of energy. As long as he took 9 steps back, his strength would increase even more, and when he attacked again, the power would be even more violent. As for Qin Yun, he could only take 3 steps. The advantage of the fatal 9 steps was that it could increase one's strength by a lot. Its weakness was that it was slow. When using it, one had to make sure that they weren't attacked. Otherwise, he would only need to take a single step to be disrupted by his opponent. Of course, if his opponent wasn't strong, 2 or 3 steps would be enough. My body is strong enough. If I can withstand the opponent's attack and take 9 steps to attack, the power will definitely be great. Qin Yun said in his heart, with the help of a Nether Sun's power, I can control the Nether Sun to release gravitational maelstrom or supergravity to resist enemies' attack, and let you use life extinction 9 steps. Ling Yun said with smile, rest assured, go practice. Qin Yun finds it inconceivable because he can sense that the holy lake is truly useful. It can raise his perception. It is a very miraculous state. What he had found difficult in the past was no longer so difficult. This holy lake is truly strange. Qin Yun is filled with doubt as he continued practicing. All the teachers and students in the Dark School District now know that Qin Yun is not someone to be trifled with. They're also very curious why he has so many good things. This attracted the attention of the people of the Dark School and the Nether Sect. They also investigated Qin Yun's background, but they couldn't find anything, because they started their investigation from Yu Feng's side. Now they all know that Qin Yun is the friend of Yu Feng's friend's disciple. It is also impossible for Yu Feng to expose the fact that Qin Yun is an inscription master. She keeps saying that Qin Yun is a lucky bastard who picked up many good things. For the past few days, many people came to ask her questions, and she was very annoyed. In the end, she flipped out and cursed a group of old men. Only then did she calm down. The King Weapon Termination Monument has been restored. Yu Feng, who is inside the study room, suddenly heard a student shouting outside. This caused her heart to become restless. She wants Qin Yun to quickly refine the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. This Qin Yun, I sent him voice transmissions so many times, but he didn't reply. Damn bastard. Now that your wings have hardened, you're ignoring me. She could only take out a voice transmission Dharma treasure and continue sending Qin Yun a voice transmission. Over the past few days, Qin Yun is busy practicing the life extinction 9 steps. He has no time to listen to Yu Feng sound transmission. Today, he has successfully completed 9 steps. He has mastered the life extinction 9 steps, but it is still not perfect. 9 steps will drain 90% of my power. This is a fatal attack. Qin Yun also has many powerful moves. Among them, the life extinction 9 steps can be said to be the strongest. Qin Yun has now relaxed a lot and took out a sound transmission Dharma treasure. Qin Yun, you bastard, when are you going to see me? Hearing Yu Feng's curses, Qin Yun replied with a smile. Yu Feng, I am very sorry. I've been very busy these past few days and forgot to invite you to come up. Then hurry up, Yu Feng yelled. Qin Yun walked out of the secret room and saw Shui Weiwei outside. His aura has become much stronger. He said with a smile, Weiwei, you broke through? Many thanks for teacher's help. Shui Weiwei is wearing a white skirt. Seeing Qin Yun, she very happily ran over. Bring teacher Yufeng here. She is waiting at the lakeside. Qin Yun said with smile. Teacher Yufeng is also a great teacher. I heard your relationship with her is very good. Shui Weiwei said with charming smile. Is she your girlfriend? Don't say such nonsense in front of teacher Yufeng. Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile. I am not her boyfriend. She is so fierce. How can she have a boyfriend? Teacher, don't say such nonsense in front of her. She will surely get angry. Shui Weiwei said with smile as she left to pick up Yufeng. Qin Yun did not personally pick up Yufeng because he doesn't want others to gossip about him. There are many people at the shore of the lake. They saw Shui Weiwei flying over and bringing Yufeng up. They immediately spread the news. Very soon, the news of Yufeng arriving on the floating island spread throughout the entire Dark School district. Then all kind of rumors and slanders started spreading like wildfire. Yufeng is wearing black attire. Coupled with her black makeup, it gives people a kind of peculiar beauty. She looks very different from other beauties. Weiwei, 1 month is almost up. Remember to transfer to my class. I told you that you are very talented. It has only been a few days since I last saw you, and you are already peak martial emperor. Yufeng is even more fond of Shui Weiwei. Teacher Yufeng, it was Teacher Qin who guided me to break through. Teacher Qin is very good. I like him very much. I won't transfer. Shui Weiwei said with smile. Seeing Yufeng arrive, Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Don't even think about poaching my students. Yufeng looked all around. Her ice-cold, beautiful eyes are filled with envy. She said, Teacher Qin, I really did not expect that in just a few days you would become a very famous person in our Dark School district. Who am I, Qin Yun? I am destined to become a very famous person. Qin Yun said with smile. Please come in. Shui Weiwei is also very tactful. She did not follow Qin Yun and hastily left. This little girl, what kind of nonsense is going through her head? Yufeng saw Shui Weiwei's expression and shook her head with smile. Qin Yun arrived at the secret room with Yufeng. The King Tool Termination Steel has been rebuilt. How many years will it take for my Blood Phoenix Nether Spear to be completed? Yufeng said, If you give me 2 billion star coins now and provide the required materials, I guarantee that I will give it to you within a month. If you don't believe me, you can sign the contract. Qin Yun said with smile. Can you truly refine a king tool in a month? Yufeng doesn't dare to believe it. I spent 2 days to refine this floating island. Qin Yun said with a smile. What? Yufeng immediately stood up in shock. Then, you will refine one for me in 2 days. I will give you 1 billion star coins. It is not difficult for me to refine this floating island, but the materials are very expensive. Qin Yun said with sigh. 2 billion. Yufeng understands Qin Yun's intention. This is still a bit too little. Qin Yun said, 3 billion star coins, is this enough? Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is only 3 billion star coins. Yufeng lightly groaned and said, Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is equivalent to me gifting it to you for free. It is only a token amount of star coins. If I really want to sell it, it will cost at least 10 billion. Qin Yun chuckled and sipped a mouthful of tea. 3 billion it is. Yufeng clenched her teeth and said, Yufeng, if I help you refine a floating island, people will become even more suspicious of our relationship. I sent Weiwei to pick you up to prevent people from gossiping. Honestly speaking, if people suspect that we are lovers, how can I face other people in the future? Qin Yun said, What do you mean? You and I are lovers. Are you being wronged? Yufeng immediately became furious. This old lady is Nether Sect's holy maiden. It is your honor that I can drink tea and chat with you. Do you know how many people want to curry favor with me? Qin Yun very calmly drank a mouthful of tea and said with smile, Yufeng, if you also have a floating island, what will people think? Your floating island will be right next to mine. Those bastards from the Dark School District will definitely talk about flying together. Can you stand it? As long as I don't hear them, it's fine. If they dare to talk nonsense in front of this old lady, I will burst their balls. Yufeng furiously said. Then it's settled. I will give you 3 billion star coins to help me refine a floating island. Yufeng, your network is very wide. How about you go buy materials to refine the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear? Qin Yun said. He feels that ancient domain has many materials. What do you need? Yufeng asked. 6 color crystal beast bones. The more the better. Qin Yun said. Then give me some king tool materials, half immortal tool materials as well. The more you get, the more Blood Phoenix Nether Spear you can refine. All right. Yufeng took out her star coin card and gave 5 billion star coins to Qin Yun. Qin Yun now has a lot of star coins. It is enough for him to do many things. Oh, that's right. I want to know more about Shui Dai's condition. Qin Yun said. Just as Yufeng was about to speak, Shui Weiwei suddenly knocked on the door and yelled, Teacher, Shui Dai's injuries are very serious. Qin Yun and Yufeng are very shocked. They promptly got up and left the secret room. After they left, they saw a pale Shui Dai sitting on a chair. Was it Su Xiaoba who injured her? Qin Yun said with frown. Su Xiaoba has world extermination spirit and is very strong, but he has just become a half-immortal. Qin Yun doesn't believe that he can injure Shui Dai so easily. It was not Su Xiaoba. I fought him to a draw. It was someone called Yi Lao, Shui Dai said in cold voice. Yi Lao? Qin Yun immediately thought of Yi Yaoshua's parents. That guy is very treacherous. He violated the rules by using concealed weapons, but was not discovered. Those referees are all blind. Shui Dai furiously said. Is Yi Lao from Holy Institute? Qin Yun asked with frown. Yes. Shui Dai abruptly tore open her clothes and saw a black dot on her chest. The most dreadful thing is that the black dot is overflowing with black gas and thick black liquid. Chapter 1086. Yi Laoi Yufeng took out a silver dagger, grabbed Shui Dai's finger, and lightly cut it. Thick black blood flowed out. It is also emitting black poisonous gas. Shui Dai, endure. Yufeng continued to cut. The bones are also black. She hastily sent her half-immortal power into Shui Dai's body to suppress the poison. Shui Weiwei's complexion turned deathly pale. She said in low voice, Teacher, is Sister Dai serious? Yufeng said in deep voice, It is very serious. Her blood and bones have been infiltrated by the poison. Shui Dai gently held the little jade rabbit and placed it on her chest. She slowly lied down on the ground. She is very tired now. Qin Yun, can this little rabbit really absorb that kind of poison? Yufeng very anxiously said, If there is really no other way, quickly notify the Shui clan and let them handle it. If something happens to Shui Dai, you'll be done for. Take her in and rest. She'll be fine soon. Qin Yun communicated with the little jade rabbit via voice transmission. The little jade rabbit told him that there was no problem. It just needed 2 to 3 days. Yufeng carried Shui Dai into the small pavilion. Qin Yun looked after her from the side. Shui Dai is very weak now, she said in low voice. Sister Yufeng, I can feel that my poison is being sucked out. There should be no problem. You don't need to worry. Really? But you were poisoned very deeply. Your blood has become poisonous, and your bones have turned black. That is a very rare poison. Yufeng raised the small dagger in her hand. The originally silver dagger has now turned pitch black. Yufeng, she will be fine. Let her rest properly. Qin Yun said. Lu Haqin also returned at this time. He flew to the floating island and loudly shouted, Teacher, teacher, did something happen to Shui Dai? Qin Yun hurriedly went out. Shui Weiwei also told Lu Haqin to lower his voice. Shui Dai is poisoned. Did you go to Holy Institute and inquire about the guy who injured Shui Dai? What is his background? Qin Yun asked. Lu Haqin is not surprised to see Yufeng here. His expression became grave as he said with sigh, That guy is very powerful. Although he had used a concealed weapon with poison, it was not against the rules, because that poisonous hidden weapon is his natal weapon. During a martial arts competition, the use of natal weapons was allowed. If he could use his martial soul to create a natal weapon with poison, it would not be against the rules. Yi Lao is the same as Su Xiaoba. He is also a new student. Many powerful new students have come to Holy Institute this year. It is truly strange. Lu Hanshin looked at the small pavilion and asked, "How is senior sister Xue Dai?" "It has temporarily stabilized." Qin Yun guessed. Holy Institute's new students are all young disciples from Spirit Desolate. Xia Wufeng might be there too. The fact that Su Xiaoba has become a half-immortal surprised him. Moreover, Su Xiaoba even became a student of Holy Institute. The holy sects have sent their disciples to the great ancient college to suppress the Dark Assembly. Lu Hanshan is somewhat amazed. "Senior Sister Xue Dai, are you all right?" Yu Feng said he can cure it, but that poison is very dreadful. "I think he can only temporarily stabilize it. He can't completely cure it." Lu Hanshan said with frown. "Teacher, I heard that after Yi Lao poisoned someone, that person will die within 3 days. Only Yi Lao has the method to cure the poison. If there is no accident, he will come here within 2 days, or teacher will go find him." Yu Feng said, "Qin Yun, we should quickly go find that bastard. Don't delay the time to cure the poison. You guys wait here first." Qin Yun finished speaking and then entered the small pavilion. He used Extinction Spirit Eye to carefully examine the situation inside Xue Dai's body. He discovered that the energy inside Xue Dai's body is completely black. However, there's a faint red color, which means that the black poison is being absorbed by little Jade Rabbit bit by bit. Although the speed is very slow, the poison could be smoothly cured. Qin Yun gently caressed little Jade Rabbit, who was lying on Xue Dai's chest, and felt a lot more relieved. "Xue Dai, rest properly. When you wake up, your poison will be completely cured." Qin Yun smiled at Xue Dai and then walked out of the small pavilion. "Qin Yun, quickly go find that bastard. Make him hand over the antidote." Yufeng looked at Qin Yun and said. Qin Yun is not worried, because little Jade Rabbit can completely cure the poison. "No need to find him. My little rabbit is very powerful." Qin Yun said, "If you don't want to go, I will go. Wei Wei, bring me away from the floating island." Yufeng said. Qin Yun took out a talisman, handed it over to Yufeng, and said, "This is for you. If you have any problem in the future, just take this talisman and fly up." Yufeng took the talisman and sensed a kind of wonderful power. She tested it and immediately flew up. "Rest assured, I will help Xue Dai get the antidote." Yufeng finished speaking and then hastily flew away. Teacher Yufeng is very concerned about Sister Dai. Will Sister Dai really be all right? Shui Weiwei anxiously asked. "Rest assured," Qin Yun said with smile. "Weiwei, accompany Xue Dai for the next few days and chat with her." Shui Weiwei promptly ran into the small pavilion. Lu Hanshan said in low voice, "Teacher, Holy Institute has a few new students. They're all very formidable. I went to the Holy Institute to inquire about this matter. Many old students said that these new students are very dreadful. Can you get a list of them?" Qin Yun asked. "Of course I can. My grandfather is Xue Wuya. What list can I have?" "This is the list of 1,000 new students of Holy Institute." Lu Hanshan took out a book and handed it over to Qin Yun. Qin Yun curiously asked, "Teacher, what is your relationship with Su Xiaoba? Is there any conflict between you and him? I heard that he is just a youngster, but he is very domineering and arrogant. He said that he can beat you up with one hand. That guy's also crazy. He is a first tribulation half-immortal. It is very normal for him to beat up a mid-stage martial emperor like you." Lu Hanshan shook his head and laughed. Qin Yun quickly looked through the list of new students of Holy Institute and saw a few familiar names. Boss Xie is really here. There's also Senior Sister Yi. There's also that bastard Lei Lang. Qin Yun did not see Xiao Yuan Mei, Hong Mengshu, and the others' names. Su Xiaoba and Yi Lao are the ones with the highest cultivation. They are both half-immortals. Yi Yaoxue and Xie Wufeng were martial emperors. I wonder what is the relationship between Senior Sister Yi and Yi Lao. Could it be that they are brother and sister? Qin Yun is very curious about this matter. Just as Qin Yun was thinking about contacting Xie Wufeng, Yufeng suddenly flew back. "That guy called Yi Lao is here. he is at the shore of the lake. He wants to see you. He seems to know you. Do you have enmity with him? Yufeng said. I will go meet him. Qinyan doesn't know Yi Lao, but he guessed that he is Yi Guangtian's son. Maybe he is Yi Yaoshue's elder brother. Qin Yun sold the runes of the mysterious penetration Dao talisman to Yi Shue's sect and swindled them of over 10,000 high-quality region origin stones. Qin Yun followed behind Yufeng and left the floating island. They arrived at a small plaza at the shore of the lake. The arrival of Holy Institute's people attracted many students of Dark Institute to spectate. After Qin Yun followed behind Yufeng, many students let their imaginations run wild because they feel that Qin Yun and Yu Feng's relationship is not ordinary. Qin Yun saw Yi Lao. He is very handsome. He is wearing golden blue, magnificent clothes. He looks very similar to Yi Guangtian. He is undoubtedly Yi Guangtian's son. There are a few middle-aged men and an old man beside Yi Lao. There are also more than 10 young students of Holy Institute. They must be the teachers and students of Yi Lao's class. Qin Yun, it is indeed you. Yi Lao has seen Qin Yun's portrait before. Do I know you? Qin Yun doubtfully asked. My father is Yi Guangtian. My long-lost little sister is your concubine. Do you recognize me now? Yi Lao said in cold voice. Everyone burst into commotion. Yufeng also did not expect that Qin Yun would have a concubine. It means that he has a big wife. Womanizer. Yufeng cursed in her heart. Qin Yun shook his head and said, I don't have a concubine. I recognize your father. He is the guy who forced me to marry your little sister. Bastard, you still have the face to say that. You swindled our Yi Shui sect of 10,000 high-quality regent origin stones. And you still don't want my little sister. Yi Lao furiously yelled. This caused the teachers and students of Dark Institute to cry out in alarm. 10,000 high-quality region origin stones, even in ancient domain, this is a very large sum. Yu Feng's heart secretly jumped. She anxiously looked at Qin Yun because she gave him several billion star coins. She is now very worried that Qin Yun will suddenly run away. Qin Yun said with smile, My deal with your Yi Shui sect is based on soul contract. Moreover, it is a death contract. If I violate the contract, I will die. You're saying that I swindled your Yi Shui sect. This is pure nonsense. Despicable guy. It doesn't matter if you don't admit it. Your student Shui Dai has been injured by me. She's been poisoned and will die within 3 days. Yi Lao said with cold smile, I heard that Shui Dai is an outstanding disciple of Nether Sect's Shui clan. She will soon become Nether Sect's new holy maiden. If she dies like this, as her teacher, you'll have to take responsibility. President Su said in low voice, Teacher Qin, Shui Dai went out to challenge people to earn points and raise your ranking. Now that she has been poisoned, you will have to take responsibility. Although your relationship with Shui clan has eased up for now, if this matter becomes too big, Nether Sect will definitely take action. Shui Dai will be fine. I can guarantee it. Qin Yun said. Ha ha ha. What do you guarantee? Only I could detoxify Shui Dai's poison. Qin Yun, as long as you hand over 10,000 high-quality region origin stones and the floating island to me, I will be able to detoxify Shui Dai very quickly. Yi Lao said with proud smile. Hoo. A burst of gale arrived, bringing with it a strong smell of blood. A red light can be seen drifting over from the distance. Nether Sect's Shui clan has arrived. Yufeng said to Qin Yun in low voice. Chapter 1087. Origin Poison Needle. There are middle-aged and old men among the Shui clan's people. They seem to be very strong, but the Shui clan's clan chief is not present. That patriarch had been captured by Qin Yun before. Everyone knew about this. As for the Shui clan's people, since they signed a contract with Shui Dai, they did not cause trouble for Qin Yun. However, they still hate Qin Yun from the bottom of their hearts. Holy Institute's people became vigilant seeing the Shui clan's people arrive. You Shui clan, don't act recklessly. Shui Dai was poisoned during a fair fight on the martial arts stage. She did not violate any rules. An old man from Holy Institute yelled at the Shui clan's people. Those Shui clan's people are very unhappy. On one hand, They cannot attack Holy Institute's people. On the other hand, Qin Yun is here, and they can't do anything to Qin Yun. Teacher Qin, you are a very capable person. Shui Dai has become your student and has been poisoned. What do you plan to do? A middle-aged man with very short hair coldly looked at Qin Yun. His red eyes flickered with killing intent. I could detoxify Shui Dai's poison. That's all. Qin Yun indifferently said. Bullshit. I Yilao have been poisoned for so many years. No one has ever been able to detoxify me. Only I can. Yilao said with sneer. You are just bragging. Qin Yun said with frown. Why would I brag? If Shui Dai's life is truly in danger, what benefit would I get? Yilao laughed loudly and said, Shui clan's people can't attack you because they signed a contract with Shui Dai. So even if Shui Dai dies, they can't do anything to you. You're just bragging. You are worried that you will have to pay 10,000 region origin stones and a floating island for the antidote. A middle-aged man behind him yelled, Qin Yun, hand over 10,000 region origin stones and the floating island to Yilao. Otherwise, even if the Blood Clan doesn't do anything to you, the Nether Sect won't let you off. Qin Yun looked at Yufeng and saw her nod. The red-haired middle-aged man said in cold voice, Teacher Qin, Shui Dai went out to fight to help you gain points. She's currently poisoned, and you, as her teacher, actually refused to exchange for the antidote for your own selfish reasons. You're not fit to be her teacher. Qin Yun said with helpless expression, I already said that I can detoxify Shui Dai's poison. It is up to you to believe me or not. I can't be bothered to talk nonsense with you. Goodbye. He turned around and was about to fly away, but was stopped by the red-haired middle-aged man. You're not allowed to leave. I am Shui Dai's father, Shui Zhua. If you don't save Shui Dai, I will take you down with me. Yufeng said in low voice. He is indeed Shui Dai's father. He is a fifth tribulation half-immortal, a very young fifth tribulation half-immortal. He is the holy son of the previous generation and now one of the elders of Nether Sect. Yi Lao said with sneer. There are two ways to detoxify the poison. One is to consume my antidote every once in a while. If you consume it continuously for 1,000 years, you will be able to completely detoxify the poison. Another method is to make Shui Dai marry me. As long as she becomes my woman, I can completely cure her poison. Everyone let out a cry of surprise and bewilderment. Yi Lao is actually plotting against Shui Dai? Despicable guy, you want Shui Dai? Yufeng cursed in low voice. I do not say I want her. It depends on what method you choose. I am a first tribulation half-immortal. I am the strongest first tribulation half-immortal in Great Ancient College. Shui Dai marrying me is not an injustice to her. Yilao proudly said with sneer. Qin Yun said, I can truly detoxify Shui Dai's poison. Shui Zhua. Uncle, how about we sign a soul contract? If Shui Dai dies, I will also die. How about this? All right. Shui Zhua immediately agreed. Yilao laughed loudly at this time. This guy is very treacherous. Even if you sign a soul contract with him, he has a way to break it. Truth be told, this guy is an inscription master. My sect bought a set of talisman runes from him and signed a soul contract with him. Back then, he kept on saying that the talisman runes were genuine. After we bought it with 10,000 high-quality region origin stones, our sect's inscription masters tried many times, but none of them were able to produce that kind of talisman. Everyone cried out in alarm. On one hand, they are amazed that Qin Yun is an inscription master. On the other hand, they are amazed that the talisman runes are actually worth 10,000 high-quality region origin stones. Yi Lao continued. If you trust him, you will surely be cheated to death. Shui Zhua's expression is filled with amazement as he looked at Qin Yun and said, Are you truly an inscription master? He is indeed a very formidable inscription master. Moreover, he is known as a venerable master. But his swindling skill is even more outstanding. It is above inscription techniques. Everyone here, even though you are all from Dark Institute, I must warn you, do not engage in any transaction with him, otherwise it will most likely be a scam. Yilao shouted in loud voice. Yufeng's heart immediately turned cold because she is the one who made the transaction with Qin Yun. Now that she thinks about it, she feels that Qin Yun is somewhat strange. He even boasted shamelessly that he can refine king tools very quickly. Yufeng did not speak about this matter on the spot. She can only speak about it later, or she will be laughed at by others. Shuejua's expression is filled with vigilance as he looked at Qin Yun. "Uncle, are you willing to believe Yilao, the person who poisoned your daughter?" Qin Yun said with sigh. Shuejua thought for a bit and said, "Qin Yun, since you are so confident that you could detoxify the poison, then you will also be poisoned. If that's the case, I'll believe you if you get poisoned yourself." Qin Yun laughed and said, "This is actually a very good idea, but the process of being poisoned is very painful. Why should I endure that kind of pain just because you don't believe me?" Yilao yelled, "Did you see that? He is feeling guilty and doesn't dare to take my poison needle." "Yilao, don't be so savage." Qin Yun's expression slightly changed. "You are spouting nonsense and saying that I am a swindler. I will not bicker with a vile person like you. But if you keep pestering me, don't blame me for being impolite." "Everyone, did you see that? He has flown into a rage out of humiliation." Yilao pointed at Qin Yun and shouted, "Then tell me, what are those runes?" "To refine mysterious penetration Tao talisman. Just having runes is useless. You also need a special kind of power. Without that special power, you will not be able to refine true mysterious penetration Tao talisman." Qin Yun said, "Son of a bitch, there is indeed a trap. Then why didn't you tell us?" Yilao furiously said, "You forced me to sell my runes to you. Why should I tell you? Qin Yun was only a small fry martial emperor back then, and you half-immortals were pressuring me. What could I do? No matter where, forcing an inscription master to sell his runes is taboo. And you actually violated the taboo of the inscription world. You were originally a group of despicable, vile people." Qin Yun firmly clenched his fists. "Now you still have the face to talk about me?" Spectators now know that Qin Yun has runes in his hands. He actually made a large group of half-immortals attack him. What is the use of mysterious penetration Tao talisman? President Su curiously asked. "With mysterious penetration Tao talisman, we can easily take out the Regent Origin stones inside the Ghost Beast Emperor Essence stones." Qin Yun said. He doesn't want to hide this matter anymore. He might as well throw caution to the wind. One of the ways to obtain Regent Origin stones in Ancient Domain is to obtain them from the Ghost Beast Emperor Essence stones. There are many Ghost Beast Emperors in Ancient Domain. Therefore, this matter is very astonishing. Everyone wants to see what kind of talisman it is. In any case, you have swindled us. If you don't return the Regent Origin stones and hand over the floating island, Shuedai is dead." Yilao furiously said. "Shuedai won't die because I can detoxify her poison." Qin Yun groaned, then turned around to leave. But he was blocked by Shuejua and a group of Shui clan people. "Qin Yun, as long as you take his poison needles, I will believe that you could detoxify Shuedai's poison," Shuejua said in cold voice. Yilao yelled, "Qin Yun, how about this, you and I fight? I will use my poison needles to deal with you, and you will use your equipment. How about it? If you are poisoned, it is your own problem." Of course, if you can't detoxify the poison yourself, you will need my help, and you will have to pay a great price. Lu Hanshan said in low voice. "Teacher, don't agree. This guy defeated many First Tribulation half-immortals, and they were all poisoned. Those poisoned people have to pay a great price to detoxify the poison. Every year, they come to him for the antidote." Yufeng also said, "Qin Yun, you're just a mid-stage martial emperor. Even if you use equipment, it will be very difficult for you to defeat a First Tribulation half-immortal. Don't let your emotions affect your decision." Yilao said with evil smile, "There's no need for him to defeat me. If he can hold on for an incense stick worth of time, he will have the guts." Lu Hanshan said again, "Teacher, you were able to defeat Shui clan leader because he was not on guard. This Yilao is now on guard. He will not be easy to deal with." Qin Yun, If you agree to fight him and win, I will acknowledge you as my teacher. I will also let Shui Dai follow you. Shuizhua said. Qin Yun feels that this is a very good opportunity. Shuizhua is an elder of Nether Sect. If he performs well here, Nether Sect will pay close attention to him, and he will be able to enter Nether Sect even faster. Xiao Lu, who were the people poisoned by that bastard? Qin Yun asked. Along with senior sister Shui Dai, there are 3 students of my Dark Institute. 2 students of Holy Institute have already paid a great price to detoxify the poison. Lu Hanshan replied. Qin Yun said in loud voice, All right, go inform those students and tell them that I, Qin Yun, will detoxify them for free. We cannot let our great ancient college's students be oppressed by this despicable student. Although I, Qin Yun, am only a mid-stage martial emperor, I now have the opportunity to punish this kind of vile bastard. His voice is filled with righteousness. It reverberated throughout the small plaza, causing many people to admire him. You accept my challenge? Yi Lao proudly laughed sinisterly. You can detoxify my poison? Truly boasting shamelessly. Even Holy Institute's pill masters are unable to detoxify my poison, and you think you can? Chapter 1088. Lion King's Fury President Su yelled. Everyone move back. I will set up the battlefield. It will be carried out in this small square. This is a martial arts challenge, not a private fight. Qin Yun's eyes are filled with confidence and a trace of anger as he looked at Yi Lao with his hands behind his back. President Su took out some very old array pillars and surrounded the small plaza that was more than 100 meters wide. President Su, this place is too small. Let's change. If we fight in such a small place, hidden weapons will easily injure people. Yu Feng yelled. Little witch, Teacher Qin is not even speaking, yet you are speaking. Who do you think he is? You seem to be very concerned about him. President Su said with chuckle. President Su, are you itching for a beating? Yu Feng yelled while gnashing her teeth. Her voice is filled with gloominess and coldness. President Su is so scared that he immediately turned his head away, not daring to look at Yu Feng. Although the Dark Institute students are not saying anything, they are looking at Qin Yun with strange expressions. They all think that there is something going on between Yu Feng and Qin Yun. Teacher Qin, do you want to change to a bigger place? President Su asked. No need. It is small. It is more convenient for me to use my magic tools. Qin Yun took out a small transparent bell. It is the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Now that it has shrunk, it looks like a small bell. Everyone present feels that Qin Yun is too confident. Yi Lao proudly sneered and said, Qin Yun, if you can stay here for an incense stick worth of time, it will be your win. A middle-aged man from Shui clan said in loud voice, This brat surnamed Qin is too arrogant. He is just a mid-stage martial emperor. Even if he has immortal tools, what can he do? His opponent is a first tribulation half-immortal. He can kill him without even using his hands. Indeed, if he dies, what will happen to Shui Dai's poison? There is no other way. We can only marry Shui Dai to Yi Lao. He is indeed a very rare super genius. A3. Shui Dai is really something. Isn't it good to just follow Yu Feng? Why must she follow this bullshit teacher? Shui clan people are all grumbling in low voice, but everyone present can hear their voices. Lu Chaoshui said with smile, If Qin Yun is truly finished, that would be for the best. His students will be mine. Lu Hanshan cursed. Idiot, you are dreaming. Also, Mr. Qin won't die. Lu Hanshan's martial spirit has been transformed by Qin Yun. He is now Qin Yun's diehard fan and very protective of Qin Yun. Yu Feng is also worried that something might happen to Qin Yun because she still has several billion star coins with him. Teacher, take out your cauldron. It is the cauldron that imprisoned the Shui clan's patriarch. Lu Hanshan said in a low voice. No matter what magical treasure I use, I can deal with this guy. Qin Yun's voice is filled with incomparable confidence. He said with cold smile, Yi Lao, I want to see how formidable your poison needles are. Qin Yun, When you saw how powerful my poison needles are, you were destined to die. Yilao laughed sinisterly and said, "Of course, if you are willing to become my slave, I will definitely save your dog life." Qin Yin looked at the people of Holy Institute whose faces are filled with smiles and asked, "What will happen if there are casualties in this kind of competition?" An old man from the Holy Institute smiled disdainfully and said, "How can it be decided? Of course, he would be responsible for it. You're a mid-stage martial emperor, and you're fighting against a half-immortal. If you die, are you going to blame them?" Qin Yin said indifferently, "I mean, what if Yilao dies? Ha ha ha. How can that be possible? Indeed, he is a first tribulation half-immortal. Even if it is a fight between half-immortals, he will not die so easily. And you, what makes you think you can kill him? Because of your equipment? Truly funny." An old man from Holy Institute said with laugh. Many students of Dark Institute also shook their heads and laughed. A mid-stage martial emperor is actually so naive. He wants to kill a first tribulation half-immortal. This guy's delusions are hopeless. Lu Chaoshui said with smile. It is truly a pity. A young inscription master who has mastered many good runes is actually finished like this. His runes must have been picked up. Teacher Qin, hand over your runes and fight again. It will be a great pity if you let those runes pay with your lowly life. That student called Gao Kai yelled. Qin Yin turned his head and ferociously glared at him. Yilao yelled, "I am ready." Although I am challenging a teacher, he is the weakest teacher in the entire great ancient college. No, it should be the weakest person in the entire great ancient college. There are many students here who are stronger than him. Yilao is very confident in his origin poison needles. Because he has never lost before, there are very few people who have not been poisoned by his origin poison needles. If someone is hit by his origin poison needles, they only have two choices. Either they die from the poison or they pay a great price to obtain the antidote. Qin Yin is also very curious about Yilao. This Yilao is after all Yi Yaoshue's elder brother. After the formation is finished, President Su yelled with face filled with expectation, "Begin!" The moment it started, Yilao waved his large hand and black poisonous needles rushed towards Qin Yin like a gale and heavy rain. This caused many students of Dark Institute to let out cries of alarm. This is truly too scary. Such a dense number of poison needles. Moreover, they are very fast. They are accompanied by a very strong gale that wreaked havoc. It is very difficult to dodge. But what caused people to be alarmed is that Qin Yin suddenly disappeared. The poison needles did not hit Qin Yin at all. In the blink of an eye, Qin Yin arrived behind Yilao. Qin Yin doesn't dare to get too close to Yilao. He doesn't want to be poisoned or he will lose his power. He quickly took out the Lion King cannon. Yilao also turned around and once again shot out half-immortal power-filled poison needles. The poison needles, along with the gale, transformed from half-immortal power, shot towards Qin Yin. They swept away everything in their path and brought along a burst of rumbling sound. Qin Yin used flowing light extinction shadow step again and dodged by a hair's breadth. After using flowing light extinction shadow step, Qin Yin used passing shadow extinction breath step to hide his aura and make Yilao lose his target. Everyone saw Qin Yin dodging twice in a row and their expressions changed. His footwork is very brilliant. This guy is only a mid-stage martial emperor, but he can dodge so easily in front of a first tribulation half-immortal. Moreover, the battle stage is so small. What kind of martial arts is that? I don't know, but this Qin Yin has true skill. Lu Hanshin has tasted Qin Yin's footwork before. Back then, Qin Yin suddenly appeared in front of him and pierced through his body. Just as Yilao lost his target, many silhouettes suddenly appeared from all around him. Qin Yin used myriad transformation step. Everyone saw Qin Yin's silhouettes appear on the battle stage and cried out in alarm again. Yilao lost his target. Wu Xian is extremely alarmed. He promptly waved his hands and shot out wave after wave of poison needles. Qin Yin also doesn't dare to approach Yilao, but now he can see that Yilao is a fake. His true strength is only his poison needles. Otherwise, if he was a first tribulation half-immortal, he would be crushed in a short while with speed and power. Because Yi Lao has mastered poison needles, he feels that he is unparalleled under heaven. Therefore, he doesn't pay attention to other aspects of cultivation. He only blindly increases his cultivation, causing his foundation to become unstable. Boom! After Qin Yun condensed his power, he shot out the Lion King cannon. Yi Lao screamed in pain and anger after being hit by the Lion King cannon's golden light. A large amount of flame also appeared on the battle stage. Qin Yun's cannonballs are refined with king-grade beast oil. Yao Feng even helped to refine them. Yao Feng is a formidable immortal king. The immortal power condensed inside the cannonballs. The flame ignited by them is extremely ferocious. Boom! Qin Yun shot the second cannonball. This time, Yi Lao was sent flying by the cannonball and crashed into the barrier. Everyone is dumbfounded. Yi Lao, a first tribulation half-immortal, is actually being suppressed by Qin Yun. They cannot sense the power of the cannonballs through the barrier. They also don't know how strong they are. Qin Yun flew over, raised the Lion King cannon, and used it as a thick stick, then ruthlessly smashed it towards Yi Lao. Boom! The Lion King cannon shook, and Yi Lao's head started bleeding. This kind of weak chicken is not worthy of my heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Qin Yun sneered in his heart. Then he pointed the cannon barrel at Yi Lao, inserted his arm into the barrel, and unleashed piercing mountain, splitting earth finger. A heaven-shaking explosion came out from the cannon barrel. Qin Yun's piercing mountain, splitting earth finger shot out from the cannon barrel. Its might is even more dreadful. It is still accompanied by a cannonball and shot towards Yi Lao's head. Boom, boom, boom. Intense flame burst out, followed by several loud explosions. Raging flames are raging on the battle stage. Holy Institute's people are all dumbstruck. Qin Yun is holding the Lion King cannon with one hand. His face is expressionless. He looks like a flaming war god. He is standing inside the sea of flames. Looking at Yi Lao, who is screaming miserably, he is about to unleash piercing mountain, splitting earth finger. Yet, President Su had removed the barrier. As soon as the barrier was removed, a scalding hot air wave rushed out in all directions. Many people immediately felt as if their skin is being scorched. What caused people to be shocked is that Qin Yun is not the least bit afraid of this flame. Holy Institute's people are shocked and flustered. They rushed over to extinguish the flame. Qin Yun cursed President Su in his heart. He almost killed Yi Lao. Everyone is looking at the Lion King cannon in Qin Yun's hand with fear and envy. The Lion King cannon's mighty lion head is now facing Yi Lao. Although Yu Feng and Lu Hanxin know that Qin Yun is very strong, they are still startled. Shui Clan's people are also completely speechless. The flame on Yi Lao's body has been extinguished. There is a big hole in his abdomen. His martial spirit and half-immortal life crystal fell on the ground. The half-immortal life crystal was also full of cracks. Yi Lao has been crippled. It is very rare for a first tribulation half-immortal to be crippled in Great Ancient College. What is even more unbelievable is that this first tribulation half-immortal has been crippled by a mid-stage martial emperor. Heavy head, light feet, shallow foundation, possessing formidable poison needles but not cultivating foundation, relying on poison needles to injure people. You are so arrogant and conceited. Qin Yun coldly looked at Holy Institute's people and reprimanded them. You bunch of bastards! How dare you call yourselves teachers? You clearly know that his foundation is shallow, yet you let him challenge everywhere. Chapter 1089. Sect Master's Mission. Yi Lao is lying on the ground, trembling and letting out sorrowful and angry roars. I won. Is your Holy Institute unwilling to accept this result? Didn't you say before that you will be responsible for the casualties in this kind of battle? Qin Yun looked at the old men of Holy Institute who flew into a rage out of shame and said with sneer, "Those elders are very angry and want to teach Qin Yun a lesson. But this is Dark Institute's territory, and there are many teachers of Dark Institute nearby. They don't dare to attack Qin Yun, or they might be crippled. Although Dark Institute's students were not optimistic about Qin Yun's chances before, now that they have seen Holy Institute's people behave so atrociously, they feel very satisfied. Qin Yun, you will not have a good end. No one has ever dared to be so ruthless. In martial arts competition, they always stop at the right time. An elder of Holy Institute said in cold voice. Stop at the right time? You still have the face to say that? Qin Yun furiously said, You shameless old bastards. Yi Lao poisoned other people and used this despicable method to extort benefits from other people. He even forced Shui Dai to marry him. Isn't this ruthless enough? If a scoundrel like him did not do evil, he would not suffer such retribution. Shui clan's people all agreed with Qin Yun's words. Qin Yun, you are still a junior. How can you speak to us elders like this? You are not respecting your elders. Acting like a teacher will only ruin the reputation of our great ancient college. That elder is very angry and shouted loudly. Respect you? You bunch of despicable old bastards. You allowed Yi Lao to use despicable tricks to persecute students. Go ask those poisoned students if they will respect you bunch of old bastards or not. Qin Yun said with sneer. You should quickly scram. Your Holy Institute's face has been thrown away by you old bastards. Impudent. We are second and third tribulation half-immortals. It is not up to a little martial emperor like you to lecture us. You actually dare to insult us. Those teachers of Holy Institute's face is filled with killing intent as they loudly roared at Qin Yun. Shuezhua promptly walked up and said in cold voice, You bunch of old bastards, do you think bullying the weak is reasonable? No matter what, Qin Yun passed the examination to become a teacher. He is of the same generation as you. Seeing Shuezhua speaking up for Qin Yun, those teachers couldn't help but be startled. Shuezhua, your daughter is about to be killed by this brat. Right now, the only one who could detoxify the poison is Yi Lao. He has already been crippled, so it is impossible for him to detoxify your daughter. You are actually speaking up for Qin Yun. A teacher of Holy Institute said with sneer. Just wait to collect your daughter's corpse. Shuezhua looked at Qin Yun and asked in deep voice, Teacher Qin, can you truly cure Shui Dai's poison? Absolutely no problem. I am willing to guarantee it with my life. Qin Yun's face is filled with confidence as he said, Not only can I help Shui Dai detoxify, all the students who were harmed by Yi Lao can also come and find me. I won't take any benefits. Helping them get rid of the evil poison is what I, as a teacher, should do. All right, Shuezhua said. I believe you. I will come back in 3 days. With that, Shuezhua led the blood-kindred away. Qin Yun said to Lu Hanshun, Xiao Lu, go contact the other poisoned students. If they are willing, they can come and find me. Yes, teacher, I will go immediately. Lu Hanshun's expression is filled with arrogance as he swept his gaze over those students because his current teacher is very awesome. Now everyone knows that the magic tool in Qin Yun's hand is very strong. It can allow a mid-stage martial emperor like him to easily kill a first tribulation half-immortal. Qin Yun, you crippled me. My parents will not let you off. Just wait for us. Yi Lao screamed miserably. If they want to kill me, they will have to be prepared to die. You're no exception. Qin Yun finished speaking, then turned around and flew towards the floating island. Yu Feng is also amazed as she followed Qin Yun back to the floating island. Dark Institute's teachers and students are also very bewildered in their hearts. They can now see that Qin Yun is very strong. Although his cultivation is very low, the strength and boldness he displayed is something that even many teachers cannot compare to. Other martial emperors do not have such imposing manner to reprimand the teachers of Holy Institute. Qin Yun landed on the floating island and began walking towards Shui Dai's small pavilion. Shui Weiwei saw Qin Yun return and promptly walked out. She said with smile, Teacher, Sister Dai's condition has improved a lot. Qin Yun said with smile, That's good. Yu Feng hastily walked over and saw that Shui Dai's complexion has returned to normal. The speed of detoxification is much faster than I expected. Qin Yun caressed the little jade rabbit and said with smile, "Teacher, this little rabbit is very cute and also very awesome. It can detoxify such a strong poison." Shui Weiwei also caressed the little jade rabbit from time to time. Shui Dai is lying on the bed, looking at the little rabbit lying on her chest, and said with sigh, "I thought I was hopeless. Teacher, why did Yi Lao come to find you? Did he want to haggle? I heard Shui clan's people also came. Did they make things difficult for you?" Shui Dai asked. "Yi Lao has been crippled by me," Qin Yun said indifferently. "What?" Shui Dai finds this hard to believe. She tried to sit up in shock, but Yu Feng stopped her. "Shui Dai, rest properly. That guy has indeed been crippled by your teacher. Your father also believes that Qin Yun can detoxify you, so he left for now. He will come back in a few days." Yu Feng is still very amazed in her heart. "Teacher, you are so awesome. You actually crippled Yi Lao here." Shui Weiwei's little face is filled with worship as she looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, "That guy challenged me. He asked for it." Qin Yun said with smile, "Weiwei, take good care, Shui Dai. I will go back and rest." Qin Yun hastily returned to his room. Yu Feng is following behind him. "Yu Feng, you heard Yi Lao say that I am a swindler. Are you worried that I will cheat you of your star coins?" Qin Yun said with smile, "Indeed, but I believe you now. Even if I don't believe you, I can't do anything to you." Yu Feng lightly groaned and said, "You have many enemies. Is Yi Shui's sect behind Yi Lao very strong? I have never heard of it. I am from 9 desolate great lands, spirit desolate. I came here with Yi Lao and others. Have you heard of the 9 desolate great land of the 9 sun world?" Qin Yun asked. Yu Feng said in amazement, "You came from that place?" "Of course I have. We always wanted to go to the 9 desolate great land. It is a holy land for cultivation." "Oh," Qin Yun said in surprise, "that place is about to be destroyed. My spirit desolate is now filled with all kinds of heavenly disasters. The 9 sons of the 9 sun world are very helpful to our cultivation. We have 9 sun spirit veins inside our bodies, but we can only absorb 9 sun power through regent origin stones. I really did not expect that the 9 sun world would be destroyed." Yu Feng said, "You are not in the 9 sun world, yet your cultivation speed is so fast. There is no need for you to yearn for that place." Qin Yun said, "Many inheritances of our ancient domain have been broken. I don't know the specific reason. Is our cultivation speed really that fast?" Yu Feng also doesn't know much about spirit desolate. "Look at that little girl Wei Wei. She is already peak martial emperor. This is very fast in spirit desolate. I'm only mid-stage martial emperor now." Qin Yun laughed. "But you are very strong. Peak martial emperor Lu Hanshun was defeated by you in one move. It can be seen that the people from your 9 sun world are much stronger than the people from ancient domain. It seems like I will have to learn a lot from you." Yu Feng said, "How about you give up on being a teacher and become my student? I will teach you." Qin Yun said with a loud laugh, "Wouldn't you teach me? If you can help me, there is no reason not to." Yu Feng now knows that Qin Yun is from the 9 sun world, and her attitude towards him has changed greatly, especially after seeing that he could detoxify poison, refine tools, and refine souls, and even killed Yi Lao. "I don't know how I can help you, because I don't understand you at all." Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile, "I am just joking. I don't really want you to become my student. So long as I can become stronger, I will become your student, even if I have to give up everything I have gained in the academy for many years." Yu Feng said with firm expression. The corner of Qin Yun's eyes twitched as he said in low voice, "Yu Feng, are you serious? You are the Nether Sect's holy maiden. You are also one of the 10 great teachers. It is not very appropriate for you to become my student." "What is inappropriate about it?" Yu Feng said, "If I become your student, I will help you take care of other students. Then you will be able to refine tools in peace." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Are you worried that I will swindle your billions of star coins? Is that why you are bothering me like this? If you dare swindle me, I will not let you off even if I die. You better behave yourself." Yu Feng lightly groaned and said, "Yu Feng, I want to enter the Nether sect. Can you help me sneak into the Nether Sun Star? If you can, I will refine a set of equipment for you for free. Qin Yun suddenly said with stern expression. What is your goal in going to the Nether Sun Star? Yufeng has long been suspicious of Qin Yun. Now that Qin Yun is not hiding his goal, she asked. I don't know. I only know that there is something they're waiting for me to find, Qin Yun said with sigh. Rest assured, I will not do anything to harm your Nether sect. I only want to go to the Nether Sun Star and find the answer. Then I will immediately leave the ancient domain and return to the Nine Desolate. Isn't that place going to be destroyed? Why do you want to go back? Yufeng's eyes lit up. She also wants to go and take a look. I am now a mid-stage martial emperor. If I want to go to the Immortal Desolate, I will have to cross 7th half Immortal Tribulation, and I want to go to the Immortal Desolate as soon as possible. There is a passage in the Spirit Desolates transcending Xianxi region that leads to the Immortal Desolate. It is a shortcut, but it is filled with danger. I want to give it a try, Qin Yun said. What exactly is waiting for you to find on the Nether Sun Star? Yufeng is even more curious. I will find out after I go. Do you have any way to let me go to the Nether Sun Star? Qin Yun asked. I can't. There are very strict restrictions on entering the Nether Sun Star. This rule was established many years ago. Even I have to go through several inspections every time I go back. Chapter 1090. Agreement between teacher and student. Chapter 1090. Agreement. I also don't know what it is. Oh, that's right. You have been in the Nether Sun Star for so many years. Have you ever seen the sect leader? Qin Yun asked. What are you talking about? I am a holy maiden. How can I not see the sect leader? Of course, I don't see him very often. Yufeng also feels that the sect leader is very mysterious. She said again, wait until I become the sect leader. Maybe I will let you know what it is. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I don't know when you will become the sect leader. Don't look down on me. I will become the sect leader very soon. Yufeng very confidently said, in the eyes of Nether sect's disciples, I will be the next sect leader. Apart from sect leader, I don't care about anything else. If I become an elder, it will be very shameful. Qin Yun shook his head. Being the sect leader of Nether sect will not be easy. Can you tell me about your sect leader? When will you be able to meet him? Can you let him meet me? Yufeng said with sigh. You want to meet him? There is no chance. Even the few important elders of our Nether sect are not allowed to see him. He only appears when something big happens. I don't know what he is doing during normal times. He said he is in seclusion, but I feel that he is very carefree. Being the sect leader is very good. You don't need to worry about anything. You can even obtain great amount of cultivation resources. All the trivial matters of Nether sect are handled by the elders. It is very leisurely. This is also the reason why Yufeng wants to be the sect leader. Qin Yun said with frown. Then how does the sect leader come about? They're all chosen from Nether sect's holy maidens and holy sons. When the time comes, I will have to defeat the other holy maidens and holy sons to become the sect leader. I will surely defeat them, Yufeng said. Then, when will your sect leader pass on his position? Qin Yun asked again. Yufeng thought for a bit and said, as long as he can cross 7 tribulation, he will pass on his position. If he passes tribulation, he will ascend to the immortal world. If he fails, his soul will scatter and scatter. Therefore, I don't know when he will be able to cross 7th tribulation. In short, those of us who are waiting to take over must be prepared at all times. Yufeng, when you see your Nether sect leader, tell him that I can help him attract 7th half immortal tribulation faster. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. He must be very bored in the Nether Sun Star. He wants to leave as soon as possible. That's not necessarily the case. What if our sect master is a fake and doesn't dare to go through the tribulation? Yufeng lightly sighed. I am very worried about this problem. He doesn't dare to go through tribulation. If he just sits around and waits for death, I might become an old granny by then. Qin Yun really did not expect that Yufeng would be so disrespectful towards Nether sect's sect master. Yufeng, when can you meet that sect master? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Sect leader comes and goes like a ghost. It is very difficult to meet him if there is no big matter. Yu Feng shook her head. Qin Yun feels that Nether sect leader must know about the Nether Sun spirit. He can only meet him and discuss it with him alone. Yu Feng said again, if Shui Dai becomes the Holy Maiden, Sect Master will personally appear and give her the Holy Maiden token. Qin Yun's heart stirred. He promptly asked, how can Shui Dai become the Holy Maiden? With her current cultivation, is it still not enough? As long as she can become a second tribulation half immortal within 100 years, she will be able to take the Holy Maiden test. Of course, Shui Dai is still very young. She has just become a first tribulation half immortal not long ago. She is not even 50 years old yet. In another 20 to 30 years, she will be able to cross her second tribulation. Yu Feng said, Yu Feng, you became a second tribulation half immortal within 100 years. How old are you now? Qin Yun curiously asked. You don't need to care about how old I am. You only need to know that this old lady became a holy maiden within 100 years. Moreover, I am the youngest holy maiden in history. Yu Feng said with proud expression. Do you know how high my talent is? Qin Yun very much wants to quickly contact Nether Sect's sect master. Only then can he enter the Nether Sun Star. Yu Feng, didn't you say you want to become my student? You are a teacher. It won't be a problem for you to become my student, right? Qin Yun feels that he should first take Yu Feng in as a student. He will be able to learn many things from her. If you can make me stronger or make me believe that you can make me stronger, then becoming your student is not a problem at all. Yu Feng crossed her arms over her chest and said, have you thought of a way to prove it? Half-immortals need to absorb a great amount of immortal energy to make their immortal power and immortal body stronger, and even cultivate their soul to immortal soul. Every time they advance, they will attract half-immortal tribulation. After reaching half-immortal stage, Regent Origin Stones are not very useful. They need immortal origins. There are many immortal origins in Immortal Desolate, especially the small ones. They can flow out of immortal sects and then be obtained by transcending Xianxi region's people. Qin Yun has a few immortal origins in his hands. He asked River Sun Palace Master and others for them. Yu Feng, what do you think is the main thing restricting your cultivation? Qin Yun asked. It is energy absorption. I can absorb a lot of energy, but even though there's a lot of energy in ancient domain, I cannot directly absorb it. I need to use formations to convert it into energy suitable for me to absorb. Only then I can cultivate. Yu Feng helplessly spoke about this matter. It is not only me. Many people are like this. Those formations are too weak. The converted energy is very little. It is not enough. What kind of energy do you absorb? Qin Yun curiously asked. Immortal energy. In short, I could drink a bowl of immortal energy, but it is very difficult to drink even a drop. Yu Feng said. Qin Yun is secretly amazed at the constitution of ancient domains people. Their energy absorption ability is very strong. I can help you with this. Qin Yun said. If you can do it, I will immediately become your disciple, but you're not allowed to charge me tuition fee. Yu Feng said. You go back first. I will properly think about what to do. Qin Yun said. All right. Yu Feng flew away from the floating island. Qin Yun entered the secret room and asked Long Tianji if her small spiders have discovered anything. Long Tianji's small spiders have not discovered anything. Because the lake is very big and very deep, many small spiders have arrived at the bottom but have not discovered anything. Instead, they have seen many huge water beasts. Sister Yao Feng, half-immortals absorb immortal energy through 9 suns, right? Qin Yun asked. That's not it. In the void beyond the heavens, any star can release energy. If one cultivates the power of the stars, he or she can directly absorb it. Otherwise, they have to use cultivation method or formation to convert it. Yao Feng said. Qin Yun explained Yu Feng's situation to Yao Feng and asked, Sister Yao Feng, how can Yu Feng break through so quickly in half-immortal realm at such a young age and in this kind of environment? Yao Feng said, actually, ancient domain's energy is not small. Yu Feng's absorption ability is very strong, so it is very difficult to satisfy her needs. Ancient domains people break through very quickly because their living environment is very different. The star power here is very dense, and they also have a lot of region origin stones. They must be able to fuse 9 suns power with a great amount of star power to break through very quickly. Their shortcoming is that their immortal energy is not pure enough and not refined enough. Qinyan feels that it will be very difficult to help Yufeng break through very quickly. After all, she is a half-immortal, not a martial emperor. He will also become a half-immortal in the future. Now he is researching a method to quickly break through to half-immortal realm. It will be very helpful to him in the future. Qin Yun, immortal origin, can quickly transform all kinds of energy into immortal energy. If Yufeng feels that absorbing immortal energy is not fast enough, you can use immortal origin to speed it up. You should properly ponder over it yourself. Yao Feng said. Qin Yun now has an idea. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, there's immortal origin inside your 9 condensation pagoda. Inside the 9 condensation pagoda, you can refine a great formation to absorb star power. Absorb a great amount of star power and then use the immortal origin to condense dense immortal energy. This way, you won't need to consume region origin stones. Qin Yun is also planning to do this. He arrived outside, took out the 9 condensation pagoda, entered the immortal origin layer, and began carving runes inside. The runes needed to gather star power are star runes. And Qin Yun has a great amount of star runes and Star Lord inscription spirit. This is not a difficult matter for him. However, this is the first time he is doing this. He doesn't know what kind of star runes and what kind of star runes will be compatible. He can only try many times to figure it out. After trying many times, Qin Yun decided what kind of star runes he wants to carve. Next, he began carving star runes outside the 9 condensation pagoda. These days, those people who were poisoned by Yi Law also came to find Qin Yun one after another. The poison in Shui Dai's body has already been detoxified. When they came, they did not use little Jade Rabbit to detoxify them. Instead, Qin Yun used his devouring power to draw out the poison in their bodies. Although this method is very effective, it is tormenting them to the point where they hover between life and death. The process is very painful, but those people did not blame Qin Yun. Instead, they are very grateful. Especially those 2 students of Holy Institute. They almost knelt down to express their gratitude. Since Qin Yun did not charge them anything to detoxify them, they returned and spread the news about Qin Yun. Especially those 2 poisoned students of Dark Institute. They boasted about Qin Yun to the heavens. If they had the opportunity to transfer classes, they would have definitely transferred to Qin Yun's class. Shuizhuo also came to see Shui Dai safe and sound. He felt relieved and went back. He is very happy in his heart because it is not a bad thing for Shui Dai to follow Qin Yun. More than 10 days passed by. Bai Kuang, Shui Weiwei, Lu Hanxun, and Yin Tianjia have all adapted to Qin Yun's martial spirits. They have all gone to challenge other people to earn points for Qin Yun. Teacher, I have finished 5 battles this month. 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Altogether, I have increased your points by 60. Shui Dai yelled from outside Qin Yun's room. She had just returned from the last battle, and she was still wearing a slightly damaged red battle suit. Shui Dai, I have been busy with other things these days. I forgot to guide you in cultivation. Chapter 1091. Mystery Race. Soul. Not long after Shui Dai was poisoned, she immediately went to compete in martial arts competition. Moreover, she won 3 matches in a row. All 3 matches were against Second Tribulation half-immortals. Qin Yun pushed open the door and said, Come in. Teacher, go on with your work. I don't need your guidance. I'm a First Tribulation half-celestial, and my strength is comparable to a Second Tribulation half-celestial. I came to the great ancient college to challenge others and increase my comprehension near the Holy Lake. Shui Dai said, That won't do. Wei Wei and the others have all received my help, and now they have also become stronger. You are my student. I have to take responsibility. Besides, your current strength still has a lot of room for improvement. Qin Yun said with a smile, Quickly come in. There's really no need. Shuedai shook her head and said, "My Shui clan's cultivation is very strange. Even you, Feng, cannot help me." "Shuedai, you tied with Su Xiaoba. That means you lost." "I know Su Xiaoba. I fought with him before," Qin Yun said. Shuedai clenched her fist when Su Xiaoba was mentioned. Her face is filled with unwillingness. That damned brat. Not only does he look annoying, but his words are also very infuriating. His strength is truly terrifying, and I can feel that there's a very powerful force suppressed in his body that hasn't been released yet. "Teacher, you fought with Su Xiaoba. Are we going to use our equipment?" Shuedai feels that if Qin Yun uses his equipment, even she would not be able to defeat him. Qin Yun shook his head and said no. "After the fight with him, I was severely injured. All the bones and flesh in my body were basically shattered." Shuedai furiously said, "Teacher, I will do my best to cultivate and become stronger. I will ruthlessly teach this guy a lesson." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Although I am heavily injured, I defeated him." "What? How is this possible? You're just a martial emperor. How can you defeat a half-immortal like Su Xiaoba without any equipment? As far as I know, even some third tribulation half-immortals don't want to fight him." Shuedai is looking at Qin Yun in shock. It is not that she doesn't believe Qin Yun, but this matter is too outrageous. "When I fought him, I was initial stage martial emperor, and he is a peak martial emperor," Qin Yun said with a sigh. "He is now a half-immortal. I am not his match. If I were a peak martial emperor, I would dare to fight with him." "You defeated him when you were only an initial stage martial emperor? This is already very powerful." Shuedai was still very shocked. "My injuries were very serious at that time. He was also the same. But he has very strong recovery ability," Qin Yun said. Shuedai nodded. "When I fought him, what I hated the most was that he recovered very quickly after being injured. This guy's entire body is filled with a very violent, destructive power, and my own body also has a very strong recovery ability. It seems like after he became a half-immortal, his recovery power increased." Qin Yun slightly frowned. "Yes, I had once broken his palm, but as I hit him, his palm recovered. That freak," Shuedai cursed in low voice. "Even third tribulation half-immortals will find it hard to defeat him. They will be exhausted to death." Su Xiaoba has made great progress. This caused Qin Yun to be very amazed. "Shuedai, the fact that you can fight him to a draw means that you are also very strong," Qin Yun said with a smile. "With my help, maybe you can become even stronger. When the time comes, you could go fight him again." "Teacher, how do you want to help me?" Shuedai followed behind Qin Yun and entered the secret room. "Can I see your martial spirit?" Qin Yun asked. He used Extinction Spirit Eye and can only see that Shuedai's martial spirit is completely red. The martial spirits of the Shui clan's people are also the same. "I can't. This is my Shui clan secret. I hope teacher can forgive me." Shuedai shook her head. "Every member of our Shui clan has signed a soul contract. If we leak the secret of our martial spirit, we will die." This caused Qin Yun to become even more curious about Shui clan's martial spirits. He can't delve too deeply into it right now. "All right, then tell me the reason why you couldn't defeat Su Xiaoba. Tell me the most important reason," Qin Yun said. "His power is very berserk, and his destructive power is very strong, but I can block it. My Shui clan's power is specialized to deal with this kind of power." Shuedai spoke up at this point and promptly stopped. She is worried that she will reveal the secret of her martial spirit to Qin Yun. Shuedai paused for a moment and said again, "The reason why I couldn't defeat him is because his recovery power is very strong. When I fought him, I was able to restrain him, but because of his strange recovery power, I was unable to force him to concede. In the end, both of us used up most of our energy and couldn't do anything to each other. Then we ended up in a draw." Qin Yun lowered his head and pondered for a while. Then he said, "Shuedai, I have a kind of rune here that can seal Su Xiaoba's recovery power when you fight. You can't use magic tools during battle." Shuedai shook her head. "You also can't use talismans," Qin Yun said with a smile. "I am saying that I will carve the rune on your arm. When you attack, You will release your power through your arm, and you will be able to release that kind of power. Shui Dai is very amazed because this is the first time she has heard of such a thing. But she is still very worried. She asked, "Teacher, if the formation detects that I am using magic tools, I won't be able to enter the battle stage in the future." Formation detects runes to determine whether an opponent is using magic tools or not. It is not strange for Shui Dai to have this kind of worry. What if I use totem runes? Qin Yun asked again. Totem runes are not a problem, but do they even exist? Shui Dai doubtfully asked. If they exist, there won't be any problem. Qin Yun plans to fuse some runes and totems into one. This way, they won't be detected. Even if they are detected, they can say that it was caused by totems. Qin Yun said, Shui Dai, where do you want me to carve the totem runes? My arm or somewhere else? Shui Dai turned around with her back facing Qin Yun. Then she slowly took off her clothes and took them off. Carve on my back. If there is not enough space, you can carve on my front. Teacher, can you begin now? Shui Dai said, My back is enough. Qin Yun said with smile, Shui Dai, I am a man. Don't you mind? Shui Dai, can tell what kind of man you are with one look. Shui Dai said with a carefree expression. Oh, do you really think that I'm not a bad man? Lie down on the bed. It will be easier for me to carve like this. Qin Yun said with smile. I can't be sure whether or not you are a bad man, but I can be sure that you are a perverted man, but not a coward. Shui Dai finished speaking and also lied down on the bed. She said in low voice, Teacher, was my words just now a bit excessive? Ling Yuner started giggling. Excessive. You are right. Qin Yun shook his head and laughed. He looked at Shui Dai's slender and smooth jade-like back and said, Shui Dai, the totem runes I carve will not leave a mark on your beautiful skin. They will fuse with your body. I don't care, as long as it can make me stronger. Shui Dai said. Qin Yun poured blood spirit power into the mental resonance Xian pen and began carving. He said, It will be very uncomfortable at first. Just bear with it. I'm not afraid of pain. Shui Dai said. Shui Dai, how can you tell that I am perverted but not a coward? Are you not afraid that you are mistaken? Qin Yun said with smile. Intuition told me. Teacher, my intuition is very correct, isn't it? Shui Dai said proudly. Your intuition is wrong. It is because I have a wife, so I am very dutiful. Qin Yun said. Then you must be a henpecked man. Shui Dai coldly groaned and said, All right, whatever you say is right. Qin Yun said with smile as he began carving totem runes. Shui Dai curiously asked, Teacher, what is your relationship with Yufeng? I asked Lu Hanshen, but he refused to tell me no matter what. It seems like you signed a soul contract with him. Qin Yun said, I have no relationship with her. In order to not let Shui Dai misunderstand, Qin Yun told Shui Dai about secluded Phoenix Pavilion. Teacher, your guts are truly fat. You actually almost killed Lu Hanshen. Your lust for women should not be so small. Shui Dai said in amazement. Shui Dai, I want your help. Qin Yun suddenly said in a serious tone. Speak. I will definitely help you. Shui Dai said, I want to meet your sect leader. Yufeng said that if you cross second half immortal tribulation, your sect leader will come out to meet you. Qin Yun said, Indeed, I will be the holy maiden at that time. Once I meet sect leader, I will do my best to make him meet you. But you better have a good reason to make him come out. Shui Dai said, Tell him that if he doesn't come out to meet me, then forget it. Qin Yun said, All right. Shui Dai very straightforwardly agreed. Qin Yun very quickly finished carving tree, totem runes on Shui Dai's back. He also carved some star and moon runes and fused them with the tree totem runes. Done. Qin Yun looked at Shui Dai's back with great satisfaction and said with smile, Perfect. Shui Dai sat up, let down her blood-red hair, put on her clothes, and said with bewitching and happy smile, Teacher, I can feel that my back can give me a very strange power. Can you also carve a strange totem on my front? Shui Dai, you are truly not an outsider at all. Qin Yun said with smile, Originally, it would have been best to carve on your martial spirit, but since you want to keep it a secret, there is no other way. What kind of power do you want? Dai already thought about it. I want very fierce power, the kind most similar to Su Xiaoba's. Then I can only carve thunder and fire totems. No need to carve them on the front, just left and right arms will do. Qin Yun said. Dai extended her arms and said, Come. After carving, I will familiarize myself with these totems in half a month. Next month, I will go beat up Su Xiaoba. Chapter 1092. Institute's Reward. Teacher, although your cultivation is not high, you are much better than Yu Feng. She did not help me at all. Of course, it is not that she doesn't have the ability, it is that I have already reached my limit. Dai saw Qin Yun carve totem on her arm, and her beautiful red and bewitching eyes flickered with a strange light. Of course, I won't hide it from you. Even Yu Feng wants to become my student. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, Teacher, if you become a half-immortal, it will be amazing. Dai said with certainty. Although my grandfather is very angry when he talks about you, he also admires you very much. Dai's grandfather was imprisoned by Qin Yun in the heavenly lion-dragon suppressing cauldron last time and lost a lot of face. Dai, you must become a holy maiden as soon as possible. I have helped you now. You must remember this kindness in the future. Qin Yun said. Dai did not ask why Qin Yun is so anxious to meet Nether sect leader. She nodded and said, I promised you, so I will definitely do it. Rest assured, if I can meet Nether sect leader in advance, I will definitely tell him about this matter. Qin Yun said with smile, You are more reliable. That woman Yu Feng is not reliable at all. Dai showed a rare smile on her face and said, Teacher, if Yu Feng knows that you're talking about her like this, she will be very angry. Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile, You won't tell her, right? Of course not. I am not a blabbermouth woman. Dai said with smile, Teacher, everyone outside is talking about the matter between you and Yu Feng. You will have many troubles in the future. Do you need my help? Qin Yun saw the mischievous look in Dai's eyes and realized that something bad is about to happen. Dai is an ice-cold and violent woman. If she becomes mischievous, it will be terrible. What kind of trouble will I have? Qin Yun asked. Yu Feng is a holy maiden. She has many followers. Although your relationship with her is not clear, it has caused many people to hate you. Dark Assembly is made up of many powerful sects and clans. The young masters of those big shots are all eyeing Yu Feng. Among our nether sects, 3 holy maidens. Only Yu Feng is not engaged. Dai said. Although Qin Yun is carving runes, he cannot help but laugh loudly. Yu Feng is such a fierce woman, she doesn't even have a bit of tenderness. Whoever gets together with her is just looking for abuse. They won't have any good days in their entire life. Dai also repeatedly laughed and said, Teacher, it seems like I'm also the kind of woman you're talking about. Qin Yun stared blankly for a moment, then said with a smile, To be honest, you can't even be considered women. Dai said, Those people don't necessarily like Yu Feng. They only want to get engaged to her, because she is the holy maiden. Their main goal is to form a marriage alliance with Yu family. Which one of them doesn't have many wives and concubines? They've had their fill of women. Of course, men like them also have a strong desire to conquer. If they can conquer a woman like Yu Feng, it will be a great achievement for them. Moreover, it will be something worth showing off. For them, many women were readily available and easy to come by. But if you want to obtain Yu Feng, it will be very difficult. Qin Yun said with smile, These men are truly sick. They are so bored that their balls hurt. What kind of accomplishment is there in pursuing a woman like Yu Feng? They are even showing off. Honestly speaking, with such a woman, how can I live my life? Teacher, I know that you have no interest in Yu Feng, but other people don't think so, especially those arrogant young masters. They will think of a way to make you suffer. Don't tell me that you don't want to get rid of this trouble. I can help you. Dai said. Dai, you are such a valiant and boorish woman, yet you actually have such thoughts. You are so anxious to help me get rid of the trouble brought by Yu Feng. Don't you have your own goal? Qin Yun is filled with doubt. as he asked with smile. As expected of teacher, I can't hide anything from you. Teacher, you are the most interesting man I have ever met, Shui Dai said with smile. How do you want to help me? Qin Yun is currently carving Thunder Totem. Although he is talking with Shui Dai, he is not slow at all. I will pretend to be in contact with you and let everyone in Dark Institute know that you are together with me. This way, people will think that you and Yu Feng have nothing to do with each other. Shui Dai's gorgeous and somewhat ice-cold face revealed a trace of crafty smile. Qin Yun cannot help but laugh. This is truly a brilliant plan. This way, people will think that you stole Yu Feng's man. Not only will Yu Feng suffer a severe blow, you will also be able to get rid of the marriage arranged by Shui clan. Shui Dai said, Teacher, I like to work with smart people like you. Qin Yun has seen this kind of thing many times. He has experienced it himself. This is all a ploy. Teacher, my father's attitude toward you has changed a lot. Our Shui clan can't do anything to you. So even if I am with you, the elders of Shui clan can't do anything to you. After all, they have signed a contract with me. They can't touch you. There are only a few people who want to pursue me. Just pretend to be with me. You won't have to worry about Yu Feng's love rivals. Shui Dai slowly said. Shui Dai, why is there no one pursuing you? Qin Yun looked at Shui Dai's beautiful face and said with smile, You are so beautiful. Your figure is also very good. Moreover, you're the future holy maiden. Surely there are many people pursuing you. Shui Dai gently smiled. Because you are my teacher, you can see my gentle side. As for other people who want to pursue me, they are either dead or injured. Then it's settled. We will pretend to be lovers. Wait a moment. We will go out and put on a show. Qin Yun did not immediately agree. He doesn't know what kind of trouble this will bring. Teacher, do you think that our Shui clan is very unreasonable? But let me tell you, Yu family is 100 times more unreasonable than us. Yu Feng's character is considered very good even in the entire Yu family. I guess that within a month, Yu family will come to cause trouble for you. Shui Dai said again. Qin Yun thought about it and asked, Do your Shui clan and Yu family have any grudges? No, but we often compete with each other to promote our development. Of course, there's also Nether family. They're the most powerful faction in Nether sect. They get along well with Shui clan and Yu family. Shui Dai said, All right. Qin Yun thought about it and agreed. Qin Yun spent less than half a day carving thunder and fire totems on Shui Dai's arms and gave her pointers. Shui Dai's perception is very high. She can very quickly release very violent power through these two totems. This caused her to become very excited. She wished that she could immediately rush over and beat Su Xiaoba up. But she has already used up all her chances for this month. She can only wait until next month. Teacher, I truly underestimated you before. I thought that you would be like Yu Feng, unable to help me at all. I really did not expect that you would be able to help me more than anyone else. If I were to convert these totems into star coins, it would be impossible to estimate their value. Shui Dai said while looking at her arms. Oh, that's right. Yu Feng told me that there are people here who are very rampant in robbing runes and totems. Is that right? So Yu Feng has been helping me conceal this matter. Qin Yun said, Indeed, whether it is Holy Assembly, Dark Assembly, or Demon Beast Alliance, as long as they can tempt him, he will definitely rob them. Shui Dai also signed a soul contract with Qin Yun. Teacher, you have been very kind to me. If someone wants to rob your runes, I will stake my life to protect you. Shui Dai said. Qin Yun only hopes that the sect leader will come out soon. Once Shui Dai sees him, she will be able to go to the Nether Sun Star. Shui Dai and Qin Yun arrived outside and saw Lu Hanchen very happily flying towards them. Teacher, good news. Good news. Lu Hanchen took out a jade slip and handed it over to Qin Yun. What is this? Qin Yun took the jade slip and asked. Teacher, because the 3 new students you recruited have shown outstanding performance. They won all 5 competitions within the first month of entering the college. The Great Ancient Institute has decided to reward you with an opportunity to enter the Institute Pagoda. My grandfather, Dean Shui, asked me to give this to you. Lu Hanchen said with smile. What's so good about entering the Institute Pagoda? Qin Yun asked. Teacher, there are many martial arts books inside the Institute Pagoda. You can enter for 10 days and read all kinds of martial arts books to your heart's content. This kind of reward is something that many teachers want. Shui Dai said. Qin Yun said with smile. Wei Wei, Xiao Bai, and Ajia have performed very well. Where are they now? Lu Hanxin and Shui Dai know that Qin Yun helped Shui Wei Wei and the others improve their martial spirits. That is why they became even stronger. They have also received a reward they can cultivate in the Institute Pagoda for 10 days. This is the reward for new students who perform very well. Me and senior sister Shui Dai are senior students, so we don't get this kind of reward. Lu Hanxin said with smile. Lu Hanxin, I need your help. Shui Dai said. Please speak. No need to be polite. Lu Hanxin said with smile. Use your connections to spread the news. Tell them that Teacher Qin dumped Yu Feng and changed girlfriends to Shui Dai. Shui Dai said. Lu Hanxin originally had a smile on his face, but now he can no longer smile. He is looking at Qin Yun with a dumbstruck expression. He is now prostrating himself in admiration towards Qin Yun. Shui Dai and Yu Feng are the two great devil women of Dark Institute. Yet Qin Yun actually dated them. I am doing this to avoid those people who are pursuing Yu Feng from causing trouble. Qin Yun spread his hands and said, Don't misunderstand. This if I go out and spread the news, Yu Feng will investigate and kill me. Lu Hanxin very anxiously said, It's all right, I will go out with teacher. Shui Dai grabbed Qin Yun's hand and then flew away from the floating island. Lu Hanxin cursed in his heart as he watched Qin Yun and Shui Dai leave. He can only brace himself and go. This kind of gossip spread very quickly. Many people saw Qin Yun and Shui Dai walking hand in hand in Dark Institute. In less than half a day, the entire Dark School District was in an uproar. Chapter 1093. To be jealous of a man Yu Feng took out a Dao tool, treasure mirror, and displayed the scene transmitted to her by others. Is Qin Yun and Shui Dai strolling intimately? Fake, this is all fake. Yu Feng can see that Qin Yun and Shui Dai are faking it and became even more angry. She walked out of her study room and arrived at the courtyard. Many students are waiting outside. They saw Yu Feng's gloomy expression and did not dare to speak. Now everyone in Dark School District knows that Qin Yun and Shui Dai are together. President Su said with smile, That bastard Qin Yun is stirring up chaos in our Dark School District. That little witch Yu Feng is about to explode. Her man has been snatched away by Shui Dai. Ha ha ha. President Su, who has enmity with Yu Feng, is the happiest person. Many senior students and students are also discussing this matter. Yu Feng flew in the sky towards the floating island. Along the way, she met many people, and they are all looking at her with strange expressions. That damn girl Shui Dai. You are faking it, but why are you dragging me into this? You're doing this on purpose. Yu Feng became angrier and angrier as she flew towards the floating island. Lu Hanxin has already gone into hiding. He doesn't dare to face Yu Feng. Yu Feng arrived at the floating island and saw a 7-floor pagoda. This is Qin Yun's 9 condensation pagoda. After being modified by him, the immortal origin is now releasing very dense immortal energy. Yu Feng doesn't know what kind of pagoda it is. She only feels that it is somewhat strange. She saw Shui Dai tending to flowers in a spacious area on the floating island. She furiously walked over. Shui Dai, were those rumors and slanders outside? Yu Feng asked in cold voice. What rumors and slanders? Shui Dai ran her hand through her bright red hair and asked. Don't pretend that you don't know. They're saying that you snatched away my man and that Qin Yun dumped me. Yu Feng furiously said. Yu Feng, is Qin Yun your man? Shui Dai asked. You. Of course he is not my man. He is not worthy. Yu Feng groaned. Since he is not your man, how can I snatch away your man? How can he dump you? Shui Dai squatted down again and began watering those flowers. The flowers here were planted by Shui Wei Wei. She was rewarded to cultivate inside the study pagoda for 10 days, so she did not come back. Yu Feng gritted her teeth and said, Although that's the case, I'm still very unhappy, because everyone thinks that you've stolen my man. Also, what's going on between you and Qinyan? Is it real, or are you just pretending? Shuedai said, of course it is true. I admire him, so I like him, so I get together with him? Why? I'm not your student anymore. Are you going to interfere with my love life? Yufeng was so angry that she didn't know what to say. She indeed doesn't have any relationship with Qinyan, but the entire Dark School District thinks that she and Qinyan are related. Now that rumors have spread, she can't explain it clearly. The most infuriating thing is that everyone thinks that she is inferior to Shuedai. Where is Qinyan? Yufeng yelled. This must be his rotten idea. It was to get rid of me on purpose. Shuedai pointed at the pagoda. He is inside. Oh, that's right, Yufeng. He is now my man? You must be a bit gentler with him. Relax, I won't cripple him. Yufeng groaned, then rushed towards the 9 condensation pagoda and yelled, Qinyan, scram out for me. Qinyan is inside the 9 condensation pagoda, testing the density of the immortal energy. He is very happy to see Yufeng because she is able to judge whether the density of the immortal energy is high enough or not. Qinyan came out of the 9 condensation pagoda and said with smile, Yufeng, you came at the right time. Go my ass. Yufeng furiously said, quickly tell me, was it your idea or Shuedai's? You were saying that I was dumped by you? I am so angry. Qinyan said with smile, you and I are only friends. What is there to be dumped by? It is just some bored people making wild guesses. I don't mind. Why do you mind? I was dumped by you, of course I mind. I am a holy maiden. Why did you dump me? If someone wants to dump you, it is me who dumped you. Yufeng stomped her foot, placed her hands on her waist, and furiously said, Yufeng, they are just gossiping. Let them say whatever they want. Qinyan placed his hand on Yufeng's shoulder and said with smile, come, didn't you say that the immortal energy is not rich enough? I made a thing that can increase the density of immortal energy. You can help me test it? Yufeng looked at Shuedai, who was not far away, turned her head and said, your girlfriend is over there. She is also a half immortal. Why don't you ask her test it? Aren't you afraid that she will get jealous? Shuedai walked over and said, teacher, why didn't you tell me that you had such a good thing? Qinyan said, Shuedai, isn't your Shui clan's cultivation method very special? But I also need to absorb immortal energy. Shuedai said, all right then, both of you go in and help me test it. Qinyan opened the door of the 9 condensation pagoda and brought the 2 of them inside. Shuedai, congratulations. You found a very capable boyfriend, and he is also a very outstanding inscription master. Yufeng lightly groaned and said, Yufeng, are you jealous? Shuedai said with proud smile, indeed, I am jealous. I was the one who first discovered Qinyan and brought him to Great Ancient College. Yufeng said in a very bad mood, now that he has become your boyfriend, how am I supposed to deal with him in the future? Shuedai looked at Qinyan, who was walking down the stairs, and asked, is there a deal between you two? Yufeng said with sneer, I knew it. You were just pretending. Shuedai, don't think that I don't know that you are trying to escape from the marriage arranged by Shui clan. I must say this trick of yours is very good. Shuedai said with faint smile, Yufeng, did you also want to use this trick? Indeed, but now it has been snatched away by you. Yufeng very unhappily said, I have no trick to use. Not long after, my Yu family will arrange a marriage for me. Therefore, I must snatch Qinyan back. Qinyan turned around and said with smile, Yufeng, you could just find a random man and pretend to be like this. I can't find a fool like you who is not afraid of death. Qinyan, don't think that Shui clan won't dare to do anything to you. Don't think that just because you have nothing to do with me, you won't have any trouble. Ha. Shuedai has been fancied by Ming family. You'll have a headache. You better have Lu Hanshin spread the news that you are my Yu Feng's man. At that time, I guarantee that you won't have any trouble. Qinyan is now having a headache because these 2 women are trying to use him to escape. He suddenly feels that he should take back some star coins. It seems like you're treating me as a shield. Qinyan shook his head and smiled, then continued walking up the stairs. Teacher, If Ming family comes to cause trouble for you, my Shui clan will be able to block them. If there is no other way, I will help you block them. I guarantee that no one will come to cause trouble for you. You can be at ease and pretend to be my boyfriend. Shui Dai said. Yu Feng cursed in low voice. Shui Dai, you are stealing my tool. You must understand that I met Qin first. Don't you understand the rule of first come, first served? Qin shook his head with frown. He has unexpectedly become the tool of these two women. At this time, they have arrived at the 6th floor. There are 3 immortal origins in the 6th floor. What are these? Shui Dai saw 3 large white light balls floating in the middle of the 3rd floor and curiously asked. Ignorant and inexperienced. These are immortal origins. Yu Feng said. Although they are small, these 3 immortal origins are very rare. Qin, where did you get them? Qin doubtfully asked. Are immortal origins very rare here? Of course they are rare. My Shui clan only has one. Shui Dai said in amazement. Immortal origins are not few on my side. All the great powers control a lot of them. I will open the formation, Qin said. Not long after, the 6th floor became filled with white mist. Dense immortal energy filled the 6th floor in a short while. Qin said with smile, the effect is very good. Yu Feng and Shui Dai are very amazed because they did not expect that Qin could produce such dense immortal energy here. Seeing their expression, Qin realized that they are very satisfied with the immortal energy he produced. Yu Feng, how is it? Can it make you stronger? Qin said with smile. Very good, I am very satisfied. Yu Feng revealed a trace of smile, looked at Shui Dai and said, I have decided I want to become your student as soon as possible. What? Yu Feng, are you serious? Shui Dai asked in amazement. Shui Dai, don't tell me you don't know about my agreement with Qin. I promised him that as long as he can make me stronger quickly, I will become his student. Yu Feng laughed loudly and said, Goodbye. I will go back and prepare. Shui Dai looked at Qin with some hidden bitterness and said, Teacher, she is very troublesome. If you accept her as your student, you will have a headache in the future. Didn't we do all of this to get rid of the trouble she brings? Yu Feng patted Shui Dai's butt and proudly said, Little girl, you want to fight with big sister? You are still too inexperienced. I say, why are you so afraid of trouble? I have never been afraid. If anyone dares to cause trouble for my teacher, I will kill them. Yu Feng was very angry when she arrived, but now she is very happy when she left. Teacher, you might be in big trouble. You family people are not as reasonable as my Shui clan people. Shui Dai said, Your grandfather also did not reason with me. It was me who taught him how to be reasonable. If you family people dare to come, I will also teach them how to behave properly. Qin is not afraid at all. He said with smile, You can also come to this floor to cultivate in the future. This will allow me to quickly increase my cultivation and become a holy maiden. Shui Dai nodded. Qin left the 9 condensation pagoda. Shui Dai is still cultivating inside. Chapter 1094. Library Pavilion. Qin called Lu Hanshan over to discuss some matters with him, because he will be staying in the college study pagoda for the next 10 days. Lu Hanshan has also become very diligent during this period of time because his trash constitution has been greatly improved. Especially in terms of strength, the increase was more obvious. He had become much stronger, which made his elders very happy. Lu Hanshan's elders also know that this is Qin contribution, so they are very grateful to Qin. Teacher, my grandparents have promised me that if you have any trouble, they will do their best to help you. Lu Hanshan said with smile, You have completely cut off all relations with Teacher Yu Feng. You family and those people who are pursuing Teacher Yu Feng will not come to cause trouble for you. Qin shook his head and said with smile, I will have even more troubles in the future. Will your grandparents really be able to help me? As long as we are in the great ancient college, there won't be any problem. Lu Hanshan patted his chest and guaranteed. Suddenly, a person flew over from the distance. Lu Hanshan was very arrogant just now, but when he saw Yu Feng, he immediately hid behind Qin. Teacher Yufeng, don't look at me like that. You will scare me to death, Lu Hanshan said in low voice. Xiao Lu, rest assured, I won't harm you. Yufeng showed a very rare smile on her face. Teacher Yufeng, what are you doing? Lu Hanshan has never seen such a brilliant and beautiful smile on Yufeng's ice-cold face. He is so scared that he started shivering. Yufeng looked at Qin Yun and said, I have already settled the matters on my side. I have already arranged my class. Now, I will take advantage of the class transfer opportunity that I did not use back then to transfer to your class. What? Lu Hanshan is completely dumbfounded. Is this enough? Qin Yun asked. My student badge is still here, so I'm still a student. Yufeng handed over a student badge to Qin Yun and said, You can register now. I, Yufeng, will be your student from today onwards. Lu Hanshan looked at Yufeng and Qin Yun in a daze. He thinks that he misheard. Qin Yun looked at Yufeng's student badge and confirmed that she's indeed still a student. Moreover, she's Granny Moo's student. All right. Qin Yun registered Yufeng under his name. Xiao Lu, I will be your classmate from now on. Yufeng patted Lu Hanshan's head and said with a smile, I will immediately go find President Su and inform him of this matter. I will ask him to remove my teacher position. After Yufeng left, Lu Hanshan took a few deep breaths and said, Teacher, does old Yufeng really want to become your student? She couldn't have come here to steal a man from Shuedai, right? Thinking about this, Lu Hanshan cried out in alarm in his heart. Yufeng actually became Qin Yun's student in order to steal a man. Teacher, why are you so rash? Although I have quite a few women, those women I have are all women that I can control. Can you suppress Shuedai and Yufeng? Lu Hanshan's expression changed as if he saw an imminent disaster. He bitterly sighed and said, This is troublesome. They will destroy this floating island. Qin Yun said with a smile, Xiao Lu, you are thinking too much. Lu Hanshan's eyes shone. He hastily asked with a smile, Teacher, how did you capture a woman whose cultivation is higher than yours? Can you teach me the secret? I'm your loyal student. Please teach me quickly. First of all, you must have the guts to attack them. Do you remember the first time I met Yufeng in secluded Phoenix Pavilion? Qin Yun said with a smile. Of course I remember. That is simply courting death. Lu Hanshan recalled and cannot help but feel fear. All right, I won't be able to learn this technique. I will die very miserably. I will honestly go and hook up with junior sisters. I will go to the Study Pagoda's library and see if there are any good martial arts there. Qin Yun said. Oh, that's right, teacher. There's an old man with a very strange temperament guarding the library. You must be a bit more polite, Lu Hanshan warned. Qin Yun nodded and then flew towards the Study Pagoda. After Qin Yun arrived at the Study Pagoda, he asked around and was brought to the 20th floor. After entering, he saw a very short old man. He was dressed in dazzling gold, and his hair was tied up in a ponytail. When he saw Qin Yun enter, he stared at Qin Yun with a pair of golden eyes. Qin Yun took out a jade slip and handed it over to the old man. Go in and come out in 10 days. The old man nodded and said. Qin Yun saw many bookshelves after entering. This caused him to be very amazed because this library is inside a very large spatial magic tool. The reason why the Study Pagoda refined this floor into a spatial magic tool is so that in case of disaster, it will be convenient to take away all these precious martial arts in one go. There are also many people reading books here. Where do I start reading so many books? Qin Yun originally thought that 10 days would be enough, but now it seems like it is not enough at all. Senior, are these martial arts books divided into different categories? Qin Yun asked. No, you can go in and look around. Whether or not you can find a suitable martial art would depend on your luck. The old man said. Qin Yun feels a headache coming on. All the books here have to be read page by page. With so many bookshelves, finding a good martial art is truly up to luck. Xiao Yun, use Extinction Spirit I to release Nether Moon mental power. Ling Yun is said with smile. This technique will surely be very useful. I really did not expect it. Qin Yun picked up a book and only looked at the cover. Then he used Extinction Spirit I and his formidable mental power to read every word on every page. Basically, he only needed a few glances to memorize the contents of the book. And Lingyan is also exerting her strength. She memorized the contents of each book and filtered them to find a suitable martial art for Qinyan to learn. Very soon, Qinyan flipped through the entire bookshelf. The old man saw that Qinyan is only looking at the cover and not the book. He repeatedly shook his head. This kind of guy, how did he get the opportunity to enter the library? What waste! What can you see just by looking at the cover? What impetuous youngster! Qinyan counted, there are several hundred bookshelves here. All of them are very big. 10 days and 10 nights. I should be able to read all the martial arts books here, right? Qinyan originally wanted to take out 2 books, but the bookshelves have been specially refined. Each person can only take out 1 book at a time. In order to protect the books, there's a special barrier around the bookshelves. Mental power cannot penetrate it. Otherwise, if he stood beside the bookshelf, he would not even need to take down the book. He would be able to see the contents inside. The old man saw that Qinyan is constantly flipping through every bookshelf, only looking at the cover and not the book. He became more and more angry in his heart, but he still endured and did not go over. Let him continue like this. Anyway, he wasted this rare opportunity. The one who will regret it is not me, but him. The old man is also looking at the book in his hand. He shook his head. I'm not going to teach him a lesson, this kind of guy. I will cripple him. There are also some people inside the library. They're also amazed by Qinyan's strange behavior and secretly shook their heads. In the blink of an eye, 9 days passed by. Qinyan did not expect that he would actually be able to quickly flip through all the books on the bookshelves. Now there are only 10 bookshelves left. The books in this last area are not related to martial arts or cultivation methods. Rather, they are related to inscription and tool refining. Qinyan is very excited seeing these contents because it will allow him to understand the situation of ancient domains inscription masters. As always, he used Extinction Spirit, Eye, and formidable Nethermoon mental power to take out a book and finish reading it by looking at the cover. Lingyan said, many martial arts are trash martial arts. Most of them are useless comprehension and experience. Of course, there are also good things inside. Truly good things are not passed on to outsiders. Martial arts and cultivation methods that can be placed here, as long as there are good things inside, it can be considered as finding a treasure, Qinyan said with a smile. Finally, they arrived at the last bookshelf. A dignified woman wearing floor-reaching white skirt is standing on this bookshelf. This woman has a pair of curved willow eyebrows. Her beautiful eyes are flickering like stars. She is looking at the text inside the book. She is pondering over a difficult problem. This woman doesn't know that Qinyan is beside her. She is very engrossed in reading. Her elegant goose egg-shaped face is like fluorescent jade. She is an extremely beautiful woman. Young lady, step aside, Qinyan lightly yelled. The woman also took 2 steps back, letting Qinyan take the book. Qinyan took out the book, looked at the cover, and put it back. The white skirt woman glanced at it and said with frown, this student, it is not right for you to read books like this. You're only looking at the cover, you don't know the content. What is the point of doing this? It is a rare opportunity for you to enter the library. You should be a bit more serious. I'm not a student. I am a teacher. Moreover, I only need to look at the cover. Qinyan said with a smile. You are a teacher? Then you should not be doing this. The reason you can enter the library is because all the students worked hard to obtain this opportunity for you. The white skirt woman somewhat angrily said. Oh, Qinyan responded and continued to take the book. The white skirt woman saw that Qinyan is still acting like this. She can only shake her head and sigh. She did not continue speaking. But after a while, she asked again, May I ask, where are you a teacher? Dark Institute. Qinyan finished speaking and then asked, Are you also a teacher? Oof. Of course I am a teacher. I am from Holy Institute. The white skirt woman saw that Qinyan is not seriously reading the book. She no longer paid attention to him. At this time, the small old man arrived. Teacher of Dark Institute. Your time is almost up. In another 4 hours, you can scram for me. The small old man very angrily said, "For the past 10 days, you have been taking out books and putting them back. You have only looked at the cover. You have looked at almost every book in the library. What is the point of doing this?" Grandpa Wong. "He wasted 10 days here?" The white-skirt woman is very amazed. She looked at Qin Yun and said with frown, "How can this person be like this? Why are you not reprimanding him?" "Why should I reprimand him? He will surely regret it later. Not everyone has the opportunity to stay here for 10 days. Grandpa Wong said with sneer. At this time, Qin Yun has also memorized the content of the books on the shelf. He looked at the book in the white-skirt woman's hand and conveniently memorized it. He said with smile, "It doesn't matter if I don't have the opportunity later. There is no need to come here anymore. I have already finished reading all the books here." Chapter 1095. Chapter 1095. Evolution Method. Qin Yun is very puzzled. He looked at Grandpa Wong and the white-clothed woman and said with a strange expression, "It seems like I did not provoke you. How I read books is my own business. Library Pavilion is a sacred place. Reading books here is like playing around. It is not even as good as swallowing something in one gulp. As a manager of the library, it is my business." Grandpa Wong very angrily said, "Then why didn't you tell me earlier? Why did you wait until now? I don't want to waste my time with you." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "He has been staying here for 10 days. Now he wants to go back and see the situation of the 9 condensation pagoda. Moreover, the library pavilion is in a separate space, so Long Tianji cannot contact those spiders. Qin Yun is very curious about the mysterious holy lake. If those spiders discover something important, he will not be the first to know." But just as he was about to leave, the white-clothed woman pulled him back. Qin Yun immediately cried out in alarm. "Why are you pulling me back? Men and women should not touch each other. Don't you understand that?" The white-clothed woman's face is filled with anger, but after hearing Qin Yun's words, she immediately let go of Qin Yun and lightly yelled, "Don't be disrespectful to Grandpa Wong. He is an old dean. His name is Wong Rylong. Could it be that you haven't heard of him? He is no longer a dean. That is why he is here." "Oh, Wong Rylong? Just hearing this name, I know he is very awesome. Then I am very sorry. I was rude just now. I will leave now." Qin Yun wants to quickly get rid of these two baffling people. "Don't go." Wong Rylong promptly jumped in front of Qin Yun and yelled, "Your attitude when you came to the library pavilion is very vile. If you want to enter the other areas of the college study pagoda, you must obtain my approval. Otherwise, even your students will not be able to enter the cultivation areas of the college study pagoda." Shui Weiwei and others attach great importance to this kind of cultivation area. Although Qin Yun is very anxious to leave, he wants to clearly explain things to Wong Rylong. "How is my attitude vile? I am clearly very serious about reading books." Qin Yun is somewhat angry. "How are you serious about reading books? You are only looking at the cover. Could it be that there are no books here that can enter your eyes?" The white-clothed woman retorted, "To be honest, most of the books here are useless, especially those so-called comprehensions. They were all useless waste paper. There were dozens of comprehensions of a single martial art, or even hundreds of them. Every comprehension is written by a different person. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. It's all thrown here. It's a waste of time to mislead the students." Qin Yun shook his head. "You really anger this old man to death." Wong Rylong said, "There are many insights here. I wrote them down. Also, what do you know? Different people have different understandings. What's wrong with giving others a reference?" The white-dressed woman also nodded and said, "That's right. There are many personal insights into martial arts here. They are all very helpful to us juniors, especially those seniors who generously shared their insights. We must respect them." Qin Yun shook his head and laughed. "Different people have different insights. Only then can a martial art be magnificent. Everyone's cultivation path is different. Those who wrote about their insights wrote about their own situation and their own experiences. They also wrote about their feelings and memories when they were practicing martial arts. They also wrote about their background. They even wrote down when they rest, when they bathe, even their feelings when bathing. Isn't this rubbish? What I need is not these useless things, but correct guidance. How to solve the difficulties encountered during cultivation, how to surmount the difficulties, how to adapt, how to properly use martial arts. These are the most useful things, but they are all useless. The white-dressed woman and Wang Railong are stunned because Qin Yun seems to understand these so-called comprehensions better. Actually, these so-called comprehensions have no beginning or end. They're all diary entries of those seniors when they were cultivating the martial arts. They are completely useless. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. When learning martial arts, everyone encounters different difficulties. To solve these difficulties, most people suddenly gain enlightenment. How do I describe this kind of enlightenment? This. Wang Railong is speechless for a moment. Then did you really read all the books here? This is your first time here, right? You can read a book just by looking at the cover? The white-dressed woman asked with disbelief written all over her face. This is what I'm capable of. I'm a person who cherishes time very much, so I learned a secret technique that allows me to quickly finish reading a book just by looking at the cover. Qin Yun laughed and said, "All right, I will go back now. Wait a minute. You might have roughly read those insights and your words are somewhat reasonable, but that doesn't mean you have seriously read them. Although some of the books here are not very outstanding, there are still many outstanding ones." Wang Railong said again, "Grandpa Wang, you should throw away those useless diaries. There are dozens of books about one person's insights. If someone doesn't understand and thinks that they are very useful, they will waste their precious time on them." Qin Yun sighed and said, "I guess it is because those seniors are very prestigious, so no matter what kind of rubbish they throw here, you all treat it as a treasure. You." Wang Railong is very angry, but he feels that Qin Yun's words are very reasonable. "Teacher, I am Holy Institute's teacher, Nangong Shiru. Since you have finished reading all the books in the library, I have a difficult question to ask you. I have been perplexed by this question for many years." The white-dressed woman said. Qin Yun found this name very familiar. He carefully thought about it and became very amazed in his heart. This Nangong Shiru is ranked second among the 10 best teachers. Nangong Shiru is very strong. No one knows what her cultivation is. Everyone thinks that she is a third tribulation half immortal. Although she doesn't have many students, each and every one of them are very outstanding. Many teachers rely on their students to go out and challenge them to accumulate a large number of points. Yu Feng and Lu Chaoshui are using this method. But Nangong Shiru is not like this. She has very few students, but all of them win every round. Qin Yun heard about this teacher from Yu Feng. Since they are both women, Yu Feng pays a lot of attention to Nangong Shiru. Wang Railong said with smile, "Xiao Shiru, whether it is your perception or strength, you're the most outstanding teacher in the entire great ancient college. If you had accepted more students, you would have already become the first rank. Even the second rank would be far inferior to you. If you don't understand a problem in the great ancient college, who can solve it for you?" Qin Yun cursed Nangong Shiru in his heart. She looks very gentle and touching, but is actually very treacherous. She wants to make a fool out of him. "Speak. I can't guarantee that I can solve your problem." Qin Yun said, "You're just a nameless little teacher. It would be strange if you can solve Xiao Shueru's problem." Wang Railong shook his head and said with sneer. Nangong Shiru slowly said, "My problem is related to runes. As everyone knows, runes are divided into different grades. For example, I have mastered Qian tier star runes. If I want to upgrade them to Dao tier star runes, I will have to comprehend and improve them on my own. Then I will have to evolve them." Qin Yun nodded. "Indeed, continue." Wang Railong said with sneer, "Pretentious." Nangong Shiru continued, "My problem is that I am unable to evolve Dao tier star runes to King tier. I have mastered more than 10 spirit tier star runes. With great effort, I slowly evolved them from spirit tier to Xian tier and then to Dao tier. But now, it is very difficult to evolve them. It is not because my perception is lacking. Rather, I have encountered a problem." Wang Railong said with smile, "Xiao Shiru, I almost forgot that you are an inscription pill master. Not only do you know how to refine tools and talismans, you also know how to refine pills. You must have consulted many famous teachers about your problem. Are they also unable to solve it? Nangong Shuuru let out a long sigh and shook her head. Then this guy won't be able to answer. Ha ha ha, Wang Rylong said with sneer. None of the books in the library pavilion can help you solve the problem you asked. Qinyan said, I know. Nangong Shuuru lightly groaned and said, but don't you understand very well? Since you have read all the books here, you should be able to fuse them together and solve my problem. Wang Rylong chuckled and said, Xiao Shuru, don't make things difficult for him. Let him go back. You are the fairy teacher of all the students in the Holy School District. It is his honor to have you talk to him. Qinyan laughed and said, Teacher Nangong, you can evolve spirit tier runes to Dao tier runes. Your perception is truly admirable. You are also very young, yet you can do this. You are even more awesome than many old inscription masters. Of course, Wang Rylong sneered and said, Brat, now you know how important reading is, right? Xiao Shueru has been reading non-stop to find a way to solve my problem. There are many ways to evolve runes. I wonder which one Teacher Nangong is using. Tell me which one you are using, and I will give you some pointers. Qin Yun asked, Io, you are still pretending? Wang Rylong laughed. There are many ways to evolve runes? I have never heard of it. Nangong Shuru looked at Qin Yun with frown and said, I have also never heard of it. Please advise me. Qin Yun said, there are only a few ways to evolve runes. The first is that after a simple rune is complicated, it can become even stronger. Second, after simplifying complex runes, they can also become stronger. Third, same kind of runes can be fused together and evolve. Fourth, different kind of runes can be fused together and evolve. Fifth, runes can be borrowed from totem runes and fused together with the essence of totem runes. This way runes can also evolve. The sixth is to let the runes evolve naturally. Teacher Nangong, these are the types of rune evolution that I know of. Nangong Shueru is completely dumbstruck hearing this. She never knew that rune evolution has so many kinds of patterns. She also felt that it was impossible. You are talking nonsense, Wang Rylong yelled. Qin Yun ignored Wang Rylong and said with smile, Teacher Nangong, I guess the method you are using is the simplest and most stupid method. It is simple and complicated. As long as this method evolves runes to Dao tier, they will reach their limit. They will not be able to become more complicated. In other words, your star runes have reached their limit by using this method. You can no longer evolve them to king tier runes. That is very normal. Chapter 1096. Phoenix and Butterfly. Wang Rylong said, Xiao Shuru, don't listen to his nonsense. He is definitely talking nonsense. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. Qin Yun waved his hand and said, I won't waste any more time with you. Goodbye. Nangong Shueru's heart is filled with bewilderment. She has never heard of so many ways to evolve runes. She has asked many inscription masters and knows that they are intentionally or unintentionally hiding things, so she did not say anything. After Qin Yun arrived at the door, Nangong Shuru regained her senses and yelled, Wait, what is your name? Qin Yun ignored her and left without looking back. This brat is too arrogant. Don't even think of coming here again. I will tell Dean and the others not to let him in. Wang Rylong loudly cursed. Xiao Shuru, this bastard really doesn't know how to flirt. It is rare for you to ask his name, but he doesn't even reply. Nangong Shuru is thinking about Qin Yun's words, especially about the method to evolve runes. She lightly sighed and said, Grandpa Wang, his words are somewhat reasonable. I will go ask him. She finished speaking and quickly chased after Qin Yun. Xiao Shueru, that guy might be deliberately mystifying you to deceive you. Be careful. Wang Rylong yelled. In the blink of an eye, Nangong Shuru arrived at the door and began chasing after Qin Yun. Qin Yun quickly walked down the stairs and asked Long Tianji if those spiders have discovered anything. Those spiders have been in the Holy Lake for a very long time, but they have not discovered anything. They have not found anything special about the holy lake. Continue searching. There must be something strange under the holy lake. Qin Yun very confidently said to Long Tianji. Teacher, wait. Nangong Shuru chased after Qin Yun and lightly yelled, I want to talk to you. I don't have time. I have been here for 10 days. I want to go back and teach my students. We have nothing to talk about. You are a teacher of Holy Institute and rank second. I'm just a little teacher of Dark Institute. Qin Yun quickly walked down the stairs. He wants to quickly go back and see the progress of Yu Feng and Shui Dai's cultivation in 9 Condensation Pagoda. Furthermore, he had indeed found a few good martial arts from the library and was anxious to go back and learn them. This is the first time Nangong Shuru has seen a man who does not want to see her. He is actually avoiding her as if she is a god of plague. She originally wanted to chase after him, but she was worried that others would see her and gossip about her, so she could only stomp her feet lightly and return to the library. Wang Railong saw that Nangong Shuru has returned gloomily and angrily said, Xiao Shuru, did that guy bully you? I'll go teach him a lesson right now. Nangong Shuru shook her head and said with sigh, No, he ignored me. He is from the Dark Institute, and I am from the Holy Institute. We are enemies. Wang Railong said with smile, That guy seems to be a martial emperor. He certainly doesn't have enough strength to bully you. With his cultivation, what could he know? He must be lying. Grandpa Wang, you said that he is a martial emperor? Nangong Shuru said in amazement. A martial emperor's teacher? There's only one martial emperor teacher in our great ancient college. It is Qin Yun. Grandpa Wang slapped his head and cursed in low voice. How come I never thought it would be this guy? Qin Yun is very famous in the Holy Institute because he crippled Yi Lao. It must be known that Yi Lao, a new student, has become very famous in the Holy Institute not long after he arrived. Later he was crippled by Qin Yun, and his fame was overshadowed by Qin Yun. I heard he is an inscription master, and a very outstanding one at that. His 3 new students went to compete in the first month, and all of them won 5 matches in a row. It seems like he has true skill. Nangong Shuru said in low voice. That is just his luck. So what if he is an inscription master? He is just lucky and obtained many rare runes. That's all. His cultivation is very low. He won't be able to raise any wind and waves. Xiao Shuru, don't think about this matter anymore. You're a teacher of Holy Institute. You must keep your distance from a teacher of Dark Institute. That guy must have a lot of troublesome matters to deal with. He is clearly a troublemaker. Wang Railong said with smile. Grandpa Wang, I'm going back. Nangong Shuru said. She is now thinking about many things because she believes that Qin Yun is not talking nonsense. She also feels that she is walking on the wrong path, causing her runes to be unable to evolve. And now she wants to change her path, but she doesn't have any clue. Her comprehension was high, but it was also because someone had guided her into the sect. Now, she has no one to guide her. She doesn't know how to start. Nangong Shuru returned with heavy heart. Qin Yun is also very anxious to return to the floating island. He saw that the floating island is fine and the 9 Condensation Pagoda is still there. He felt a lot of relief. Shui Weiwei, Bai Kuang, and Yin Tianjia have returned. Teacher is back. Teacher is back. Shui Weiwei is wearing a white skirt and very happily yelled seeing Qin Yun return. Weiwei, did cultivating in the pagoda for 10 days help you? Qin Yun asked with smile. It helped a lot. Shui Weiwei said with smile. Teacher, did you have any harvest in the library? It was all right. Qin Yun said with smile. Then he looked at the 9 Condensation Pagoda and asked, Are you Feng and Shui Dai inside? Teacher, you are so awesome. You actually made Sister Yu Feng your student. Shui Weiwei worshipped Qin Yun even more now. She very happily said, I made the right choice to become your student. Qin Yun patted Shui Weiwei's head and said with smile, This means that Weiwei's eyesight is very good. Bai Kuang and Yin Tianjia also came out of their room. After learning that Yu Feng is Qin Yun's student, they also prostrated themselves in admiration towards Qin Yun, just like Shui Weiwei. Oh, that's right. Has the matter of Yu Feng becoming my student been spread out? Qin Yun asked. Not yet. You can go ask Sister Yu Feng. Shui Weiwei said. Oh, that's right. Have you encountered any difficulties in your cultivation? Qin Yun asked. Yes. Bai Kuang promptly told Qin Yun about the difficulties he encountered. Qin Yun thought for a bit and then explained everything in detail, causing Bai Kuang to repeatedly nod his head. Next is Yin Tianjia. He also encountered many problems in his cultivation. Qin Yun has just returned from the library. He has absorbed a great deal of knowledge, some of which are related to cultivation, so he can answer all of their questions. Finally, it is Shui Weiwei. She asked even more questions. Yin Tianjia and Bai Kuang are earnestly listening to Qin Yun's explanation because it is very beneficial to them. Bai Kuang said, "Teacher, were you a very strong half-immortal? Did you experience a problem in your cultivation and regressed back to Martial Emperor? You are very proficient in cultivation. Many elders of my family are not as proficient as you in this aspect." Yin Tianjia also nodded and said, "Teacher, are you a reincarnated person? You must have been very awesome in your past life." Qin Yun said with a smile, "It is not as mysterious as you make it out to be. Go back and properly digest what I just said." The three of them hastily returned to their room to cultivate. I indeed had a past life. If I could restore my past life's memories, I would be even more awesome now. Qin Yun sighed in his heart and then entered the 9 condensation pagoda. The 6th floor of the 9 condensation pagoda is filled with dense, immortal energy. The immortal energy here is formed by absorbing star power. It doesn't consume Qin Yun's regent origin stones. Yu Feng and Shui Dai are sitting in the middle of the 6th floor. They are sitting cross-legged on a cushion. Their palms are facing each other, their eyes are closed, and they are cultivating. Yu Feng sensed that someone has arrived and opened her eyes. "How is it? Is this place good?" Qin Yun asked with a smile. "I am very satisfied." Yu Feng stopped cultivating and let out a long breath. Shui Dai is also the same. "What cultivation technique are you two cultivating? You can actually cultivate together?" Qin Yun is very curious. "It's a secret," Shui Dai said. "Yu Feng, the matter of you being my student has not been spread out?" Qin Yun said with a smile in amazement. "I told President Soon not to spread it out. Keep it a secret for as long as possible. Otherwise, if our Yu family finds out, you will be in big trouble. Now everyone knows that you are Shui Dai's boyfriend. Those men who are pursuing me won't bother you anymore," Yu Feng said. Although she was swindled by Shui Dai before, she is now in a very good mood. The main reason is because she is very satisfied with the 9 condensation pagoda. It will allow her to advance by leaps and bounds. As long as my cultivation is higher than the other holy daughters and holy sons, I will be the strongest when the position is passed on. I will surely become the sect master. Ha ha ha. Yu Feng very happily laughed. Shui Dai glared at Yu Feng and said, "Maybe I can defeat you at that time." Yu Feng very confidently said, "Shui Dai, it is impossible for you to defeat me. How about we find an opportunity to fight?" Shui Dai is a first tribulation half-immortal. After Qin Yun carved totems on her, her strength has increased by a lot. She already has the strength to defeat second tribulation half-immortals. "What if you lose?" Yu Feng said with a smile. "Gambling is more interesting." "Speak," Shui Dai very confidently said. "Whoever loses will destroy the great ancient plaza. How about it?" Yu Feng looked at Qin Yun and said with evil smile. Shui Dai immediately thought of something and said in amazement, "Yu Feng, did you destroy the great ancient plaza?" Yu Feng groaned at Qin Yun and said, "It is all because of this teacher. He lent me a broken-looking saber. I chopped off the king tool, termination steel, with one slash and destroyed the entire plaza." Qin Yun spread his hands and said with a smile, "Yu Feng, I won't take the blame for this. All right, whoever loses will destroy the great ancient plaza." Shui Dai also agreed. Qin Yun can only observe a moment of silence for the great ancient plaza and said, "You two go to the higher floor and fight. Don't overdo it." Soon after, Qin Yun brought the two of them to the 7th floor. The interior of this 9 condensation pagoda is very sturdy because when Qin Yun refined it, he planned to use it to cultivate in the future. If there were no defensive formations around the pagoda, it would have been destroyed by some very powerful martial skills. Qin Yun is the referee. He is watching the battle from the side. Yu Feng is a second tribulation half-immortal. Her power is much higher than Xue Dai's. Xue Dai is also not weak. Her cultivation is lower than Yu Feng's, but she has not been defeated immediately. Qin Yun secretly exclaimed in admiration while watching the fight from the side. Although ancient domains' runes are backward, their martial arts are not weak. Chapter 1097. Evil Gods Help, Xiao Yun. The cultivation methods that the two of them have should be kept a secret, especially Xue Dai. We don't even know what her martial spirit is. Ling Yuner said. Their martial arts are also not taught to outsiders. Moreover, they are very chaotic and rarely used in public. Qin Yun looked at them with frown. After I carved totem on Xue Dai, her strength has increased by a lot. Since Su Xiaoba can fight her to a draw, I can estimate his strength. With your current strength, without relying on equipment, you won't be able to defeat Su Xiaoba. Ling Yuner said. Indeed, after Su Xiaoba became a half-immortal, his strength increased by a lot. Even though I am a late-stage martial emperor, I am not his match. If I were a peak martial emperor, I might be able to defeat him. Qin Yun is also thinking about this matter. Yu Feng and Xue Dai are fighting very fiercely, causing the 9 condensation pagoda to shake. Yu Feng can also sense that Xue Dai's strength has increased a lot. Xue Dai, how did your strength increase so much? Yu Feng asked in amazement. Xue Dai used to be Yu Feng's student, so Yu Feng is very clear about Xue Dai's strength. This is all thanks to teacher's guidance. Xue Dai proudly smiled and said, Yu Feng, you are stronger than me, but you will lose for sure. Xue Dai and Yu Feng are fighting back and forth, releasing all kinds of unique and formidable energy. The 7th floor is also filled with very strong and tyrannical half-immortal power. Fortunately, Qin Yun is controlling the 9 condensation pagoda to absorb all of it. The fierce battle ended very quickly. Yu Feng defeated Xue Dai. You have indeed improved a lot, but you still can't defeat me. Ha ha ha. You are my student, yet you still want to defeat me? Yu Feng said with laugh. Just you wait. Although Xue Dai is very unhappy, she can only accept it. Qin Yun said with smile. Forget about the matter of destroying the great ancient plaza. They must have sent more people last time. Teacher, give me your saber. I will take action tonight. I'm a man of my word. Xue Dai said. I will go with you. I have experience in this matter. Yu Feng said. All right. Xue Dai also agreed. Qin Yun took out a few talismans and 9th Heaven Mysterious King's Saber. After you destroy the great ancient plaza, quickly run away and leave behind these talismans. Also, if you get caught, don't drag me into it. TSK, how could we be caught? Yu Feng took the talismans and the saber and said, Remember, quickly refine the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear for me. Yu Feng, what happened to your Blood Phoenix Nether Spear? Xue Dai asked. It's been damaged by this guy. Yu Feng took out the damaged Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and said with a helpless expression, I gave him a few billion and a lot of materials. He promised to help me refine a better one. Teacher, can you also refine a weapon for me? I want a red iron chain. It can be long or short. It can be used as a whip. It can also be used to bind things. How many billion star coins do you want? Xue Dai said. Xue Dai, when did you become so rich? Yu Feng asked in amazement. I'm the future Saintess. The blood breeds have invested a lot in me. They already gave me a lot of star coins to find someone to refine a weapon for me. Xue Dai said. 3 billion, same price as Yu Feng. Qin Yun said. What do you mean same price as me? I even provided materials. Why is Xue Dai's price cheaper than mine? Yu Feng said in dissatisfaction. Because she is my girlfriend. Qin Yun said with smile. Xue Dai also transferred 3 billion star coins to Qin Yun with smile. Yu Feng bared her teeth at Qin Yun and yelled, I don't want the floating island anymore. Give me back my star coins. Yu Feng, how about this? I will refine a shield for you. It will have super strong defense. it will be able to block most king tools and even half immortal tribulation. It can even resist half immortal tribulation, Qin Yun said. Then forget about the 3 billion. All right, Yufeng did not even think about it and agreed. Yufeng obtained a lot of materials before. It is enough to refine many good king tools. It is just that Yufeng does not know about it. Qin Yun wants to swindle this kind of ignorant person. Oh, that's right, Yufeng. When I was in the library, I met Nangong Shiru. Qin Yun said. What? You met her? Yufeng hastily asked. Did you two get to know each other? Teacher, Nangong Shiru is very beautiful. She is much more beautiful than Yufeng. This is publicly acknowledged by the Great Ancient College. Shuedai said. Yufeng is very unhappy, but she did not say anything. It seems like she also admits this point. We had some unpleasant encounter. Then she tried to worm her way into becoming friends with me. Since I was in a hurry to return, I ignored her, Qin Yun said with smile. So what if she is beautiful? I don't like her. Nangong Shiru wanted to worm her way into becoming friends with you? You ignored her? Yufeng suddenly became very happy after hearing this. She said with smile, Is this true? Why would I lie to you? She is an inscription master. She had some problems with inscription, and she was prejudiced against me. Qin Yun told Shuedai and Yufeng about what happened in the library pavilion. Yufeng very happily said, This Nangong Shiru can be considered to have suffered a setback, but I think she will definitely come to find you in the future. As far as I know, she has never been so thick-skinned as to ask a man for his name. Teacher, Nangong Shiru is also a femme fatale. She is even more femme fatale than us. You must be careful. Shuedai laughed at herself. She also admits that she is a femme fatale. The sky is getting dark. We should rest for a while and then move out, Yufeng said. Shuedai is also very excited. She promptly returned to the 6th floor with Yufeng to rest. Qin Yun is somewhat speechless. He is still at the 7th floor, digesting the knowledge he obtained from the library. Among them, there are 3 martial arts that are very good. 3 king-tier martial arts. All of them are very high quality, but they are very difficult to learn. Let's learn them first. In any case, learning things in the Holy Lake is very fast. Qin Yun said. Late at night, Qin Yun is standing at the top of the 9 condensation pagoda and looking at the great ancient plaza. After waiting for a while, a burst of loud sound can be heard. Muffled sound can be heard. The water of the Holy Lake has been affected and large waves have been set off. I really did not expect these 2 ice-cold and tyrannical wild women to be so naughty. I hope I don't capsize. Qin Yun is very worried that Yufeng and Shuedai will be captured. Shuedai and Yufeng are people with great status. Even if they are captured, it will only be a bit troublesome. After last time, Yufeng has enough experience, so she is very calm. Therefore, after Shuedai destroyed the King Tool Termination Monument, she quietly left with Yufeng, not leaving any aura behind. The entire Great Ancient College has been alarmed in the middle of the night. The presidents of the 3 great institutes rushed to the college pagoda during the night. All the institutes sent people to search the area. The Great Ancient College has also been sealed. No one can leave. Qin Yun waited for more than an hour, and Shuedai and Yufeng finally returned. Teacher, I have returned the saber to you. It is truly awesome. After seeing this saber, I am sure that the weapon you refine will be very strong. Shuedai said, Let's just take a look at the goods. Yufeng said, Those guys from the college pagoda are not pleasing to my eyes for a long time. I wanted to torment them like this. Qin Yun said with smile, You 2 are unexpectedly not captured. You're looking down on us too much. Although we strengthen the defense, it is useless. We can quickly rush to the side of the King Tool Termination Monument, hack it down with a saber strike, scatter those talismans, and then retreat smoothly. Yufeng felt very refreshed thinking about it. Shuedai said with smile, I heard that Nangong Shiru participated in the refining of the King Tool Termination Monument. Nangong Shiru's ranking is higher than Yufeng's, so she is often compared to her. After comparison, Yufeng is inferior to her in all aspects. Wretched girl, don't talk anymore. I admit that Nangong Shuiru is more outstanding than me. Yu Feng pinched Shui Dai's waist and coldly groaned. I don't feel like talking to you. I want to go participate in the clan convention. Our Yu family is going to hold a clan convention in the Middle Ancient City. Holy Assembly's people will also be invited. I'm a holy maiden. I must go. It seems like I have also been invited. It is indeed very annoying. Shui Dai said, I will go cultivate. If Wei Wei and others have any problems, you can help them solve them. If you can't solve them, just wait for me to come out. Qin Yun finished speaking and entered the 7th floor. This time, he wants to use up all the high-quality Regent Origin Stones and break through to late-stage Martial Emperor. Qin Yun can only cultivate by himself because Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingsheng are both peak Martial Emperors. They are currently cultivating with Yao Fong to prepare for tribulation. Although Yi Yao Xue is also here, Qin Yun has contacted her many times, so he can only cultivate by himself. The Great Ancient Plaza has been destroyed again, causing many older generation to become furious because they don't know who did it. This caused the older generation of the Great Ancient Plaza to feel ashamed because they have failed to capture the culprit twice. Shui Dai and Yu Feng are the culprits, but since they want to participate in the Yu family's clan convention, they have been allowed to leave the academy and return early to prepare. They want to familiarize themselves with the guest list and appearance so that they can recognize each other in advance. While cultivating on the 7th floor, Qin Yun sensed that the devil horn suddenly trembled violently. He took out the devil horn and heard Evil God's voice in his mind. Qin Yun, are you in ancient domain? Evil God asked. Yes, I am cultivating. Qin Yun said, I have an important matter for you to do. What is your current cultivation? Evil God asked. Mid-stage Martial Emperor. I should be able to become late-stage Martial Emperor very soon. Qin Yun said. Not good. You must quickly become peak Martial Emperor. When the time comes, I want you to help me open an altar. You must have sufficient strength. Evil God said. That will take time. Qin Yun said. I will help you. Along with your resources, you will quickly become peak Martial Emperor. Evil God finished speaking, and the devil horn began trembling. Originally, the devil horn was black, but now is flickering with golden energy mist. Qin Yun is extremely apprehensive. This evil god is indeed very powerful. He can release such formidable energy through the devil horn. Chapter 1098. King Totem seeing how Evil God is acting, Qin Yun is very worried and asked, Evil God, are you trying to make me do bad things? You promised me before that you wouldn't make me do bad things. Evil God said, you should first increase your strength. You should also use your own resources to quickly increase your strength. The power released by the devil horn is very dreadful. Just the pure energy is enough to cause Qin Yun's body to feel pain. Qin Yun promptly operated a mortal devil's sacred body art to absorb this mysterious and formidable power. At the same time, he is also controlling 9 condensation pagoda to release energy from Regent Origin Stones. This way, he can absorb many kinds of energy to cultivate. Qin Yun is still somewhat worried and asked, Evil God, will there be any problem if I increase my strength like this? Of course there won't be any problem. You should know that the energy you are absorbing now is divine power that I violated the taboo and sent to you. Just absorb it with peace of mind. Because I sent you this kind of energy, I caused some trouble. I will go and deal with those troubles first. Evil God said, All right. Qin Yun firmly held the devil horn and began cultivating in peace. Ling Yuner said, This evil god is truly reckless, but it is indeed very helpful to you. This kind of divine power is very hard to come by. Yuner, do you know anything about Divine Desolate? Is evil god inside Divine Desolate? Qin Yun asked. It should be. I only know that those formidable gods inside Divine Desolate are rather bad. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun recalled Medicine King Chu. He was once controlled by those gods. Xiao Yun, this divine power can greatly improve your immortal devil body. Qin Yun always felt that his body is not strong enough especially last time when he released that formidable power, his body was injured. My Tao core, mental power, and fleshly body are not in balance. Mental power should be the strongest. Tao core is in the middle and body is the weakest. Qin Yun said in his heart. Wrong. Your Tao core is nether sun. It should be the strongest. But because your mental power and body are not strong enough, they are restricted by me. Otherwise, if nether sun's full power burst out, it would be enough to destroy your body and soul. Because of my existence, the Tao core has reached a balance between the physical body and mental power. Ling Yin'er explained. Qin Yun knows that nether sun is mysterious and powerful, but he did not expect that it would be so powerful that it could destroy everything he had. The black horns had turned golden and were filled with pure energy. Qin Yun never expected that the energy delivered by a fiendish devil like the evil god did not contain a trace of evil power. This made him yearn for the divine wilderness even more. He remembered that the heavenly lion patriarch had gone to the divine wilderness. Later on, because he was tricked, he was imprisoned. The divine power released by the devil horn is constantly expanding Qin Yun's body, making his body stronger and able to contain even more energy. This way, he will be able to absorb the energy released by Regent Origin stones even faster. This was especially true for the insides of the bones, which absorbed the most energy at the fastest rate. Qin Yun had never experienced such a rapid improvement. He was also calculating the time. In less than half a day, he could feel that his flesh, blood, skin, and bones had strengthened significantly. One must know that the immortal demonic body that he cultivated was very difficult to quickly improve. It took a lot of time to accumulate it bit by bit. And now, he can clearly feel that his immortal devil body is becoming stronger. This means that the divine power is very helpful. Boom! In less than a day, Qin Yun's body suddenly let out a boom. His body and nether sun trembled at the same time, releasing a very strong energy wave. That is because both his body and nether sun broke through at the same time. I am now late-stage martial emperor. Qin Yun is very excited in his heart. The devil horn in his hand is still unceasingly releasing divine power. The power of gods is truly dreadful. Qin Yun sighed endlessly in his heart. Immortal emperors of Immortal Desolate are very powerful, but in front of gods, they are not even fart. This is why gods are so dreadful. Ling Yin'er said, I now understand why so many people blindly worship all kinds of gods. Because as long as they can obtain even a trace of power bestowed by them, they can become very powerful. Qin Yun said in his heart. Indeed, Ling Yin'er nodded and said, even though you are being controlled by evil god, you have not completely sold yourself out because evil god has also promised you some conditions. This can be considered a transaction with evil god, but it is a bit of a loss. Qin Yun said with sigh. 9 condensation pagoda continued releasing energy from Regent Origin stones. Qin Yun's body and nether sun are consuming a lot of energy. So he has no choice but to take out nearly 2,000 best quality Regent Origin stones and several hundred king quality Regent Origin stones. Use them all in one go. Qin Yun saved up so many Regent Origin stones to break through. The 7th floor of 9 condensation pagoda has been sealed up. Now it is filled with flowing liquid. The liquid is emitting 9 colored light and has completely filled the 7th floor of 9 condensation pagoda. This is the energy released by a large amount of Regent Origin stones that have condensed into liquid. Qin Yun is holding the golden devil horn and soaking it in the water. The 9 sun divine soul is absorbing all the energy. Big brother, M.O., suddenly woke up from the 9 sun divine soul and yelled, Big brother, I am awake. What are you doing now? Ling Yun yelled, Xiao Yun, let M.O. come out. Should I also let Yang Yang come out? Qin Yun asked. Don't. Yang Yang will drink all the 9 sun spirit liquid here. M.O. will come out. Ling Yin'er said, let her evolve your totem runes. All right. Qin Yun let M.O. out. Although M.O. is soaking in the 9 sun spirit liquid, she can still move around. Moreover, she is very happy because this rich energy is very beneficial to her. She can also absorb a bit of divine power. Mo, can you evolve my totem runes? Qin Yun asked. I can. Mo very quickly flapped her small wings. Her wings and eyes released a burst of intense white light that hit Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun very quickly sensed that the totem runes on his body are wriggling. His heavenly lion totem, dragon tiger totem, tree totem, and nethermoon totem are all rapidly evolving. Mo is absorbing a great amount of energy. The totem evolution power she released has also become very strong. Not long after, Qin Yun sensed that his totem runes have all become Dao totem. I can still continue. Mo very happily sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. Big brother, your totem runes will surely evolve into King Totem. Totem evolution is much more difficult than rune evolution. For many inscription masters, this is simply impossible. But now, Mo can easily do it. Furthermore, Mo has mastered many totem runes. After she hibernates, the totem rune she mastered can also evolve and then pass them on to Qin Yun. In other words, all the totem runes Qin Yun will carve in the future will be King Totem. Big brother, other than the power of 9 suns, what kind of power is there? It's very strong. Mo asked curiously. Divine power, Qin Yun said. Mo is very astonished. Mo, what's wrong? Qin Yun hastily asked. Although Mo looked very small, she also had a lot of inherited memories. If I absorb this kind of divine power, maybe I can make my totem runes even stronger in the future. Mo said with smile. That's a good thing, Qin Yun said with smile. It's just that I don't know when. In short, I'll absorb some now. It'll be useful to me. Mo said. Qin Yun looked at the devil horn. The golden color flickering on it is still very deep, meaning that there's still a lot of divine power left. Not long after, many totem runes flashed on Qin Yun's body. They're all emitting intense purple gold light. Evolved King Totem. Qin Yun closed his eyes and saw that all the totem runes on his body have greatly improved. Next, Mo continued to absorb divine power. After absorbing for more than half a day, she returned to the 9 sun divine soul. Mo can see that after the evolution, Yang is no longer a duckling. She has become a very beautiful 9th heaven Xian sparrow. Although she's not very big, Mo can sit on her back and play with her. If Qin Yun wants to break through to peak martial emperor, his body and nether sun must break through again. Wait until I become peak martial emperor. I should be able to defeat Su Xiaoba. Qin Yun feels that after the evolution of his totem runes, he will be able to defeat First Tribulation half-immortals without relying on equipment. 2 days pass by. The 7th floor of 9 Condensation Pagoda gradually calmed down. There is no more 9-colored spirit liquid here. Only a faint 9-colored mist remains. The devil horn in Qin Yun's hand has also turned black. All the divine power has been absorbed by him. Qin Yun's body slightly trembled. Suddenly a burst of energy burst out. It is as if a dragon and lion are roaring, giving rise to a burst of berserk black astral wind. Peak Martial Emperor. Qin Yun opened his eyes and said with smile, I can now release Martial Emperor Xian power with very weak half-immortal power. My Xian power is transforming into half-immortal power. If I cross half-immortal tribulation, my Martial Emperor Xian power will completely transform into half-immortal power. Qin Yun stayed in the 9 Condensation Pagoda for 3 days and became peak Martial Emperor from mid-stage Martial Emperor. This is the first time he has broken through so quickly. Divine power is truly dreadful. Evil God must have only given me a little bit, and it allowed me to break through so quickly. Qin Yun repeatedly sighed and tightly held the devil horn. Evil God, I am now peak Martial Emperor. Qin Yun closed his eyes and contacted Evil God. Very good. Oh, that's right. When you cross tribulation, there will be some trouble. You must be careful. Evil God's voice resounded in Qin Yun's mind. What kind of trouble? Why would there be trouble? Qin Yun asked. It is because you absorbed my divine power to break through. When you cross tribulation, you will be specially taken care of. The might of heavenly tribulation is very strong. If you can't cross it, then I was wrong about you. Evil God said, I spent a great deal of effort to give you a strand of divine power. You must properly cherish it. Qin Yun has experienced many heavenly tribulation, so he is not afraid of heavenly tribulation. He said with a smile, I will surely cross it. Rest assured. Oh, that's right. What altar did you say you want to open? Chapter 1099. Small island in the lake. Evil God. Will there be any problem on your side? Will I be implicated? Qin Yun asked. Evil God said with evil smile. Relax. Every god has done this kind of thing before. I have done it many times before. As I said before, because you receive my divine power, you will be taken care of during tribulation. You will be implicated. All right. Qin Yun is not afraid of tribulation because he has the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. After the devil horn dimmed down, Qin Yun stored it and walked out of the 9 condensation pagoda. Qin Yun saw Shui Weiwei after he came out. She is very fond of gardening. Many of the multicolored flowers on the floating island were planted by her. Shui Weiwei is wearing a white skirt and walking back and forth among the flowers. She looks like a charming fairy. Weiwei, why are you here alone? Qin Yun lightly flew over and landed beside Shui Weiwei. Ah, teacher, it seems like you have become a lot stronger. Shui Weiwei sensed Qin Yun's aura and yelled in shock. Teacher's aura. It seems like a Xin Dao power is transforming into half-immortal power. He is peak martial emperor, just like me. Qin Yun has been inside the 9 condensation pagoda for only a few days, but he has already broken through. This caused Shui Weiwei to be very shocked. Where did they go? Qin Yun asked. They all went to participate in the Yu family's clan convention. Shui Weiwei pouted and said with pitiful expression, They're all important children of big families. A little girl like me who is about to be sold off by my family as a concubine is not qualified to go. Weiwei, teacher also did not go. I will accompany you here. Qin Yun said with smile. Teacher, you are the best to me. You are so beautiful, so talented, and also a soul-refining inscription master. You are so outstanding. Those people are truly blind not to invite you. Shui Weiwei pulled Qin Yun's hand and said with smile, Maybe it is because of Sister Yufeng. I heard that you family want to mess with you. Qin Yun said with smile, So you also know that you family wants to mess with me? Shui Weiwei lightly groaned and said, Those guys are really something. They think that you are not worthy of Sister Yufeng. They found out that you and Sister Yufeng are close, so they want to kill you. Weiwei, I have a little sister in Dark Institute. Do you want me to introduce you to her? Qin Yun said with smile. All right. Shui Weiwei very happily said. She loves making new friends the most. Qin Yun hastily brought her towards Granny Mu's pagoda to find Gu Qiufei. Grandma Mu, Grandma Mu. Qin Yun shouted from outside the door. After opening the door, Granny Mu saw Qin Yun and said with smile, Xiao Yun, it's you. Are you here for Xiaofei? Qin Yun nodded and asked, Where's Xiaofei? Xiaofei went to participate in the Yu family's clan meeting. Granny Mu said, They also invited me, but I don't like that kind of occasion, so I didn't go. Did she go by herself? Asked Qin Yun. No, Teacher Nangong brought her there. Granny Mu said with smile. It's Nangong Shru. When I brought Xiaofei to exchange pointers with other pill masters, I met Teacher Nangong. She's very fond of Xiaofei. Nangong Shuiru is an inscription pill master. Dark Institute and Holy Institute's pill masters often interact with each other in Great Ancient College. Xiaofei is actually together with her. Qin Yun muttered. Granny Mu looked at Shui Weiwei and said with smile, This little girl is very lively. She is very cute. Hello, Granny Mu. I am Shui Weiwei. Shui Weiwei very politely said with smile. I heard that Teacher Liu and Yufeng wanted to accept you as their student. I did not expect you to follow Xiao Yun. Xiao Yun is a very good teacher. Granny Moo said with kind smile. Shui Weiwei nodded and said with smile, Granny Moo, can I come play with big sister Chiofei more often in the future? Of course you can. You can come whenever you have time. Granny Moo very happily said. Since Gu Chiofei is not here, Qin Yun can only bring Shui Weiwei back to the floating island. After returning, Shui Weiwei said with smile, Teacher, your little sister's talent is very good. Teacher Nangong actually took a fancy to her. Teacher Nangong is very famous. She is the strongest female teacher in Great Ancient College. Weiwei, why is your family's clan convention so grand? Qin Yun is very curious about this. I also don't know. In short, your family's clan convention is not held at fixed time. Sometimes it is held once a year. Sometimes it is held once every few years. I heard from the elders of my family that it is a very glorious thing to be able to participate in your family's clan convention. Shui Weiwei said. Originally, Qin Yun was not very interested, but now that Gu Qiufei is going, he wants to go and take a look, but he doesn't know how to go. Shui Weiwei asked in low voice, Teacher, your family did not invite you. Maybe they don't welcome you. Qin Yun said with smile. Let them do as they please. If they can go, then they can go. If they can't, then forget it. Suddenly Long Tianji sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. Master, there is a great discovery. There is a small island in the middle of the Holy Lake. There is a small island in the middle of the Holy Lake. Although the Holy Lake is very big, those small spiders should have discovered it long ago. Qin Yun asked. That small island appeared out of nowhere. In other words, the island was protected by a barrier and was hidden. Long Tianji said. Qin Yun took out a few wooden puppets and said to Shui Weiwei with smile, These puppets are for you. You can control them to do some work. They are just toys for you to play with. Thank you, teacher, Shui Weiwei very happily said. Then she used her mental power to control the puppets. Since Shui Weiwei was not invited to participate in Yu family's clan convention, her mood is very low. But now that she can feel Qin Yun's care and concern for her, she is very happy. Weiwei, I want to go out for a while. If there's any danger, run into that pagoda. Do you understand? Qin Yun warned. Got it. Shui Weiwei nodded. Qin Yun promptly flew away from the floating island while concealing himself. He is now flying above the Holy Lake towards the small island discovered by the small spiders. The Holy Lake is very big. After flying for a while, Qin Yun finally saw the small island. There are many tall trees on the island. There are a few small houses on the shore of the small island. There are people living here. As soon as Qin Yun arrived, he sensed the aura of a barrier. Those small spiders can't sense this aura. Just as Long Tianji guessed, the small island was originally covered by a barrier, so Qin Yun did not discover it before. Qin Yun landed on the mysterious small island and sensed the aura of people. There is a powerful half-immortal on the island. Are they people from Great Ancient College? Qin Yun looked at the small island and said in his heart, This island must be the best location in the Holy Lake. The people on this island must have great background. Qin Yun checked the small houses, but did not find anyone. Instead, he sensed some aura coming from the forest. The people on this island must be the kind of people who live in seclusion. If I go there, I won't be beaten up, right? Qin Yun walked over. Qin Yun followed the aura and passed through the forest. After walking for a while, he saw two people ahead. Qin Yun concealed his aura and walked over. He wants to see whether or not the powerful half-immortal here can discover him. After he approached, he saw that the two people have not been discovered. They are an old man and a young man. The old man is wearing a pure white robe and a golden crown. His white hair is draped over his back. He has no beard, but his eyebrows are white. From his slightly wrinkled face, it can be seen that he was very handsome when he was young. Even though his hair is now white, his face is filled with vicissitudes of life. One can still see his elegant demeanor when he was young. He is currently giving pointers to a young man in cultivation. That young man is sitting cross-legged on a table. That young man is also very handsome. He is certainly that old man's descendant. He is wearing luxurious black clothes. His sword-like eyebrows are tightly knitted. His face is filled with sweat. He is thinking about something. Qin Yun used extinction spirit to look at the young man from far away. He suddenly discovered that 9-colored energy is flowing inside his body. This young man has 9 spirit veins? Qin Yun is very amazed in his heart. Indeed, this is truly a rare sight. Ling Yun said, Xiao Yun, it seems like he is cultivating a very difficult cultivation technique. If my guess is not wrong, it should be a Dao technique or martial spirit mysterious technique. Qin Yun continued looking. Who is it? The white-robed old man suddenly discovered Qin Yun and lightly shouted. His deep and resounding voice entered Qin Yun's mind. Qin Yun can tell from the voice that the old man does not have any hostility. Senior, I passed by this place and saw this island. I was very curious and came to take a look. I have disturbed you. Please forgive me. Qin Yun walked over, and in a few steps, he arrived at the empty space where the old man is. The white-robed old man can see that Qin Yun's movement technique is very brilliant and cannot help but reveal an expression of amazement. He asked, Are you from Great Ancient College? Indeed. Qin Yun nodded. Please show me your identity token. The Great Ancient Plaza has been destroyed twice, and the culprit has not been found yet. The white-robed old man said. Qin Yun took out his identity token and handed it over. You are actually a teacher? The old man said in amazement. The youth sitting cross-legged on the table also opened his eyes. He sensed that Qin Yun's martial emperor Xian power contains a thread of half-immortal power and realized that Qin Yun is a peak martial emperor. The youth's eyes are filled with disdain. What is going on with the college pagoda? How can a peak martial emperor become a teacher? Second Dean Xue Wuya personally tested me. Qin Yun said. Oh, he never mentioned this to me. The white-robed old man returned the identity token to Qin Yun and said with smile, Xue Wuya is my youngest son. Qin Yun is greatly alarmed because this old man looks much younger than Xue Wuya, and he is actually Xue Wuya's father. This means that Lu Hanxun and this old man are relatives. Xue Wuya is my little uncle. I will properly scold him. Grandfather handed over the management of the college to him, and he actually let a peak martial emperor become a teacher. The youth said in a very annoyed manner. Qin Yun can guess that this old man is the dean of Great Ancient College. Senior, are you the dean? Qin Yun ignored the youth because he has seen this kind of people many times. I am indeed the dean of Great Ancient College, Xue Jioming. This is my grandson, Xue Wu. The white-robed old man said. This name is very easy to remember. Qin Yun said with smile. Dean, I have disturbed you. I will leave now. Xue Jioming said, Wait, Teacher Qin, I saw that your movement technique is very mysterious. May I know what kind of movement technique it is? 9 extinction steps. Qin Yun said. This is a movement technique from 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. Qin Yun feels that Xue Jioming doesn't know about it. Chapter 1100. Xue Jioming. Qin Yun is very surprised that Xue Jioming can recognize 9 extinction steps. Dean, you know about 9 Extinction Heart Sutra? Qin Yun asked in amazement. I have heard of it. I did not expect it to still be in existence. Xue Jioming is even more curious about Qin Yun. I only have the first volume. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. Xue Wu, who was at the side, said impatiently, Grandpa, I want to cultivate. Let him go, he's disturbing me. Qin Yun said with smile, I will take my leave now. Just as he took a few steps, Xue Jioming yelled, Teacher Qin, please wait. Grandpa, what are you doing? Xue Wu is very dissatisfied with Qin Yun because Qin Yun is a teacher of Great Ancient College at such a young age, and his cultivation is very low. Xue Jioming sternly said, Oh Wu, don't be rude. Oomph. Xue Wu lightly groaned and said, What qualifications does this guy have to become a teacher? He must have relied on luck to pass the exam. Dean, what's the matter? Qin Yun asked. I am very curious. You are so young and your cultivation is not high. Yet you are a teacher of Great Ancient College and even managed to recruit so many good students. Xue Jioming doubtfully said, I rarely go outside, so I don't know much about what is going on outside. Teacher Qin, could it be that you have something extraordinary about you? Qin Yun said with smile. Even though my cultivation is low, my students advance by leaps and bounds after receiving pointers from me. I won't be modest. I was born with an extremely high perception in martial arts. Also, I am an inscription master, Shui Wu said with sneer. Bullshit. If your martial art comprehension is very high, why are you still peak martial emperor? Qin Yun only laughed. He was still mid-stage martial emperor a few days ago. If he told Shui Wu about this, Shui Wu would not believe him. Shui Jiming said, Wu, you were cultivating just now. You did not see Teacher Qin's movement technique. It is indeed very brilliant. It is comparable to many First Tribulation half-immortals. I am a First Tribulation half-immortal. How about I compare speed with him? Shui Wu walked down from the table, looked at Qin Yun, and said, My name is Shui Wu. It is also because my comprehension is very high. I am a First Tribulation half-immortal at such a young age. It is enough to prove my comprehension. Shui Jiuming also wants to see Qin Yun's 9 extinction steps again. So he said, Teacher Qin, how about you compete with Wu? Since the dean has spoken, I will not refuse. Qin Yun said with smile, How do we compete? Let's go back to the hut on the shore and see who gets there first. Shui Wu said. Shui Wu and Qin Yun will Yun. Qin Yun and Shui Wu rushed into the forest and disappeared without a trace. Shui Jiuming also followed behind and seriously observed Qin Yun's exquisite footwork. Qin Yun is using the flowing light extinction shadow step. It looks like light is flowing. His running is very smooth, and he leaped out of the forest in an instant. Qin arrived at Qin Yun Wu. As for Shui Wu, he was just a step slower. Their speed was about the same. That's because Qin Yun had held back just now. If he was too fast, Shui Wu would definitely lose face. Wu, Tian Shui not. Wu Tian Shao not. Shui Wu is young and hot-blooded. He cares a lot about face. Qin Yun did not use his full strength because he did not want Shui Wu to lose too badly. You're just a bit faster than me. Your 9 extinction steps is very awesome. If I could master it, I would be even faster than you. Shui Wu was not convinced and furiously said, Wu, enough. Shui Jiuming solemnly said, What did I teach you before? Did you forget? Shui Wu has never lost before. Even if he lost to someone with equal cultivation. And now, he, a First Tribulation half-immortal, has lost to a peak martial emperor. He feels like he's been slapped in the face. Grandfather, if you think he is stronger than me, then you should chat with him a bit more. I will go participate in you family's clan convention. Shui Wu is very angry. He walked to the shore, took out a boat, jumped on it, and left. Shui Jiuming shook his head and said with sigh, Teacher Qin, youngsters are like this. Please don't take offense. He saw Qin Yun master 9 Extinction Heart Sutra and found Qin Yun very interesting. So he wants to chat with Qin Yun. Qin Yun said with smile, Shui Wu has 9 spirit veins. He is very talented. It is very normal for him to be arrogant. Shui Jiuming is slightly startled in his heart and asked, Teacher Qin, you can see that a Wu has 9 spirit veins? Qin Yun nodded. Was he cultivating just now? It seems like he is guiding 9 types of energy to circulate within his body, but it is not smooth. Apparently, he has encountered a bottleneck. Teacher Qin is indeed outstanding. No wonder he can pass the assessment. Shui Jiuming is startled in his heart and said with smile, What you said is indeed true. I wonder if Teacher Qin knows the reason? He has been stuck at this bottleneck for 2 years. What kind of cultivation technique does Shui Wu cultivate? It seems very unusual. I can see that he is guiding 9 types of energy to attack his soul and half-immortal life crystal. This is very dangerous. Qin Yun said, It is my 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. I have never encountered such a problem before. I don't know how to help him cross this obstacle. Shui Jiuming let out a long sigh and said, Maybe this child needs to stabilize his mental state. If I watch from the side a few more times, I might be able to discover some problems. Qin Yun said, All right, next time when he starts cultivating, I will ask Teacher Qin to come. Shui Jiuming nodded. Dean, why did this small island only appear today? It never appeared before. Qin Yun is standing on the shore and looking at the tranquil lake. There's a barrier here that conceals this small island. There are many students of Demon Beast Alliance here. I want to prevent some naughty students from causing trouble here. Shui Jiuming said with a smile. I want to go out today, so I opened the barrier. Demon Beast Alliance students are all demon beasts. When they return to their original form, they become very large, and they like to play around at the bottom of the holy lake. Dean, I am a teacher of Dark Institute. I am very curious about Nether Sect. I wonder if you know the sect leader of Nether Sect? He is very mysterious. Qin Yun asked. I have met him a few times. We are very familiar with each other. He is indeed very mysterious. He rarely shows his face. He didn't even appear at the Yu family's clan convention. Shui Jiuming said, I don't know much about him. I only know that he has 3 sons and 1 daughter. Eldest son founded Nether family. Second son founded Yu family. Third son founded Shui clan. Youngest daughter has not founded any faction, but she is very strong. So the 3 major factions of Nether Sect were all founded by the sect leader's sons. Qin Yun is very surprised. Teacher Qin, since you are a teacher of Dark Institute and so talented, why were you not invited by Yu family? Shui Jiuming said with a smile. Yu family's clan convention this time is very grand. All the famous people have been invited. I have some conflict with Yu family. Qin Yun said with helpless expression. Conflict? Tell me about it. Shui Jiuming's expression is very interested. It is mainly because of Yu family's holy maiden Yu Feng. Qin Yun did not even finish speaking when Shui Jiuming said with a smile, You provoked her? No wonder. This little witch is famous for her fierceness. That's not it. It is mainly because of the rumor that I am her boyfriend. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. I and Yu Feng can also be considered friends. Shui Jiuming's expression is filled with amazement as he said, You actually became friends with that little witch? As far as I know, she doesn't have many friends. A large black ship suddenly appeared in the distance. Seeing this ship, Shui Jiuming said in amazement, He has arrived? Qin Yun looked at the ship and said with frown, Him? Who is it? Nether Sect's sect leader. Shui Jiuming said in deep voice, He came here twice. Every time he came, he would come and sit with me. This ship belongs to him. Qin Yun became very excited in his heart. He did not expect to meet the sect leader of Nether Sect on this mysterious island. Could it be that he is also going to participate in Yu family's clan convention? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Shui Jiuming shook his head. The ship has reached the shore. A tall, white-haired old granny jumped down from the ship. She is holding a very long black staff in her hand. There is a black pearl at the top of the staff. The pearl is flickering with red thunder and lightning. It looks just like the Nether Sun Star. The old granny is very tall. She is wearing black armor. There are not many wrinkles on her face. She is not very old. She looks very energetic. There is even a faint smile hanging on her face. Jiuming, long time no see, the old granny said with a smile. You haven't changed much? Oh, that's right. Is this Ah Wu? How'd he change so much? Could it be that he is your other grandson or son? No, he is a teacher, Shui Jiuming promptly explained. Xian Xin, why are you here? I thought it was your father. I don't even know where my father is. I have not seen him for a long time. Xian Xin said with a sigh. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed as he looked at the old granny. He is very disappointed in his heart. He thought it was the sect leader of Nether Sect. He did not expect it to be his daughter. Jiuming, there is a floating island on the shore of Dark Institute. It is much more awesome than your island. Let's quickly go take a look. Xian Xin walked over and pulled Shui Jiuming's hand. Qin Yun can see with a glance that Shui Jiuming and Xian Xin's relationship is not ordinary. Floating island? What floating island? Who is so capable as to create a floating island? It is not easy for us to fly above the holy lake, Shui Jiuming said in alarm. Then we must go take a look. I heard that this floating island was made by a young teacher. I saw when I was passing by. It is very good. I like it very much. You are the dean. Help me snatch it. Xian Xin said with charming smile. Qin Yun cursed in his heart and anxiously yelled, "Hey, senior, this junior spent many days to refine that floating island. If you like it, I can take back some of the material fees and make one for you." You refined it. Xian Xin earnestly sized up Qin Yun. You are that teacher Qin? Shui Dai's boyfriend? I heard that Shui Dai and Yu Feng had a huge conflict over you. They fought until their heads bled. Shui Jiuming looked at Qin Yun with a dumbstruck expression. He secretly gave Qin Yun a thumbs up. Not only did Qin Yun offend Yu family, he even offended Shui clan. What Shui Jiuming admires the most is that he even managed to flirt with Shui Dai and Yu Feng. This is all a misunderstanding. There is nothing going on between me and them. It is just a rumor, Qin Yun hastily explained. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.